Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only two guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 3. We are now 10 days out. Buckeyes and Horns at the Shoe. Loaded up today. It's a Hey Guys First Friday edition of the program. An hour earlier to make way for two-a-days. Get those questions into the fellas at 971-BFS. You can also do that on the YouTube chat. We will tackle those coming up at 10 o'clock. Jake Troder going to stop by at 10:30 as is customary. 11 o'clock, two-a-days. We are in the AFC East. Dolphins and Patriots today, I think is what we're doing. Dolphins and Patriots today. Get your officially endorsed as well as the program goes along. So last winter, I think it was last winter, I got into a show on the Paramount app called Landman. And it kind of had all of the elements that you like. It had Billy Bob Thornton. It had John Hamm. It had Texas oil country, which is something that I was not very familiar with. And any time that oftentimes I find I'm interested in either shows that are set in regions that I have no sort of understanding of or times that I'm not as familiar with. And so it appealed to me on a lot of levels. Also going into this series, Darcy from Varsity Blues was in it and was throwing 165. So that helped too. I mean, she was throwing 170. I mean, it's pretty crazy that she was. So all of these boxes checked, Bake. Yes. Oh, baby. All the boxes were checked. So I was in. Reese, I know you watched it as well. Bake, did you watch Landman?
No, I have not watched Landman.
Do it right. If you like Darcy from Varsity Blues, you just get going.
I've seen some internet clips.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's better than you've been waiting 20 years for one scene. I'll just say that. So I'm watching the show, and it's a Taylor Sheridan show. And like most Taylor Sheridan shows, the first season is a banger. And the dialogue's incredible, and the stuff that happens it's awesome, and it's a great show, and it became kind of a phenomenon. Towards the end of the run, there is a scene where John Hamm is in a hospital bed, and he's in a hospital room with Billy Bob Thornton, who's an Academy Award winner, and John Hamm, who's won an Emmy, and the other guy in the room is Jerry Jones. And Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, gives probably a 2.5 or 3 minute monologue about his life and what matters. And I'm watching it and I'm thinking, this is an 80-something-year-old man who has no acting career to speak of, who quite honestly should be up for an Emmy because he's in a room with Billy Bob Thornton and John Hamm, and he won it. He won the room. It's a stunning scene. If you haven't seen this show, if you haven't seen this scene, I'm sure it's on the socials. You'll be able to track it down if you want to. But it's a stunning accomplishment. I mean, it really is. He just totally knocked it out of the park. It's a 10 out of 10. And I thought about that scene, and I thought, well, how much acting was he actually doing? He basically just told his life. He basically just told his life story. And that got us thinking, and around this time last year, we got word that this documentary was coming on the Dallas Cowboys. And it was about the 90s Cowboys, about Jerry Jones buying the Cowboys, and then the firing of Tom Landry, and then Jimmy Johnson coming on, and then all that came with it. And this is, if you are, I mean, you got to be a man in 40, woman in 40. You got to be to have any sort of, I think, understanding of that time in the NFL or appreciation for what Jerry Jones did. I had no idea that he was losing $1 million a month or $30,000 a day. Like all of these things that were happening, you just had no idea. You just knew that he bought the Dallas Cowboys and that he fired Tom Landry and he brought in a college coach. And I always had an appreciation for Jimmy Johnson at the University of Miami, just because as a kid, you almost couldn't help but not root for them. College football was very buttoned up at that time, and they were brash. They were brash. I mean, they would show up in fatigues. They did in the Fiesta Bowl when they lost to Penn State. I think they lost twice in 3 years. The last 3 years he was there. And they were very arrogant. They were cocky. And as a young kid, it was very, very appealing. So when Jimmy got the job with the Cowboys, I started to pay attention a little bit to it and found them quite appealing as well. Certainly not my favorite team, but a team that I paid attention to. So when I heard that this documentary was coming out, you say, well, that should be everything, because you heard the whispers about what the Dallas Cowboys were like on the field and most especially off the field during that time. And you thought, well, God, who would not want to be a part of that, right? But what I was worried about was that you would get a sports washing of the Dallas Cowboys. We've seen this in recent documentaries where you get, the truth is, I believe it. The best example is probably the Patriots one, where Bob Kraft does here's the history of the Patriots, and basically Bill Belichick's not a part of it. You got to give Jerry credit. I watched the first 2 episodes of this thing last night on Netflix. It dropped. It is riveting. They are 10 out of 10. It is all the warts. They had footage of him. I didn't remember this. There was a show on ABC called Primetime Live, and after he fired Tom Landry, they held a parade in Dallas for Tom Landry. Like 250,000 people went to the parade for just a guy waving, and 250,000 people were down there for the parade. And then afterward, he had to go. Jerry Jones himself, he's at a seat in the middle of Texas Stadium, and he's being interviewed live on ABC News about the fire of Tom Landry. And Sam Donaldson is putting it on him. Like Jerry goes, I have nothing but respect for Tom Landry. And Donaldson interrupts him and goes, then why did you fire him? It would never happen now. None of this stuff would happen now. The press conference when he admits that he fires Tom Landry, Jerry Jones also says it's like Christmas for him because he owns the Dallas Cowboys. And he's all excited about bringing in Jimmy Johnson. And Tex Schramm, who's the general manager and president of the team, is sitting at the dais with Jerry. And Jerry looks over and he goes, I want his job. And a couple days later, he fired him and he became the general manager. It is the best documentary. It's long. I mean, I think it's 8 parts. I watched the first 2 hours last night, so it'll take me a while to get through it. And if I wasn't a little under the weather, I definitely would have watched another episode of it. It is as good a thing as I've ever seen done, warts and all. The glory, the warts, all of it. Stunning accomplishment. I was excited for it to drop. I was texting with Tim May about it last night, Nathan Zagura about it last night. A lot of people say, hey, are you watching this? And it reminded me to watch it. It's not going to take off, I don't think, the way that The Last Dance did, because that dropped during COVID and there was nothing on. And we're right in the middle of football starting and all of those things. But they crushed it. They absolutely crushed it. It's everything you'd want it to be.
Yeah, there's almost too much on right now. There's so much to keep track of, and we haven't had a ball get kicked off in a regular season college football game, which happens on Saturday. So it's almost like you get it in what you can get in now before football consumes. Because week 0, Saturday at noon, and then obviously, as you said, 10 days from now, Ohio State and Texas, and you're just watching ball to the end of January. It feels like. Right. I did see a clip that was circulating on social media from one of the episodes of the Cowboys doc where they lose a game in the playoffs and Jimmy Johnson doesn't let them eat food on the plane ride home.
It's actually it's not even that bad. It's even worse. They lost in a regular season game where they had it's in the second episode.
Oh, this is regular season.
That's right. They had already clinched the playoffs and they lost, and Jimmy didn't let them eat.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
They're talking about how the plane takes off. They're all tired. They're hungry. Yeah. They start to serve the food, and then Jimmy stops it all, and he says, I wanted them to feel bad.
Yeah, and they hated him.
Psychotic.
But listen, so they do that. 89, they go 1-15. 90, I think they go 7-9, if memory serves from last night. So year 3 of Jimmy and Jerry, they go 11-5. They lose in the divisional round to Detroit get kind of bombed in that game. And then by the time you get to 92, they win the Super Bowl. In year 4, they win the Super Bowl. The other thing that I didn't realize is they get all the credit for the Herschel Walker trade. Obviously, it set them up. Here's the thing that you didn't realize, that I didn't realize about the Herschel Walker trade, or maybe I just forgot it. They acquired 5 players and draft picks from the Minnesota Vikings. But one of the things that they put in the trade document was that if the Cowboys cut the 5 players, or any of the 5 players traded to them by the Vikings, they got draft picks instead. So Jerry calls the general manager of the Vikings and says, we're cutting all 5. And he goes, you're not cutting all 5. And he goes, oh, no, we're cutting all 5. And they did. And they got 5 draft picks for it. So in that one draft, they flipped everything around. There is Michael Irvin is the MVP of this thing, as you knew that he would be. He's just the funniest guy on the planet. And the comments that he makes about Charles Haley, about what a absolutely crazy person Charles Haley was, it's priceless. It's really good. It's really good, and it's kind of everything you'd want it to be. And I did not realize how much Jerry was leveraged. I had no idea that he was hanging on by a thread in the early days of the Cowboys. It's really good. It's kind of everything you'd want a sports doc to be. And I'll give Jerry a lot of credit because it's not sports washing. There are times where they play a lot of the press conference where he gets, where he says it's Christmas morning and Tex Schramm's sitting there and he just fired Tom Landry and everyone's ready to hang him. And he's acting like it's Christmas. He says it in the press conference. It's Christmas morning. Really good. Really very, very good. And, yeah, if you like football, and you start to realize just how big of a deal Jerry was in the boom of football, of the National Football League. The deal he got done with Fox and so forth and so on. But it was something you waited a long time for, and I'm telling you, it's very much worth it. Here's your schedule for the Buckeyes this week. Thursday, and we're getting there here now, kids. It's First Friday. We only got one more First Friday before it's game time. You got Keenan Bailey and tight ends talking tomorrow. Friday will be practice number 19, no media availability. Saturday, practice number 20, no media availability. And then away we go. Game week. We do have a game this week. It's Farmageddon, Iowa State, Kansas State. They're playing it in Dublin, which... Of course they are.
What a great
name
in the world. Farmageddon.
Real ball knowers know.
Yeah. Take two teams from the most middle America, 2 teams in Power 5, and then go play them in Dublin. So
I tell you what, those fan bases would have the most appreciation for a trip to Dublin, Ireland.
All right, do the math now. We're up against it a little bit, but well, Fish isn't listening. Do the math on how to get from Ames, Iowa, and Manhattan, Kansas to Dublin. There's no, where are you flying? You go look on a map where Ames, Iowa is. It's just south of the South Dakota border. It's in the middle of nowhere. You're probably driving to somewhere in South Dakota, flying into Minneapolis, connecting through. Manhattan, Kansas is the same way. KU is in right outside of Kansas City, but Manhattan, I don't even know where you're driving to. Wichita? I have no idea. How the heck are you going to get there? What a mess. But that's week 1, or week 0 rather, which sooner or later is going to be week 1. All right, lots to get to on the program today. Caleb Downs and what should be a very special final season in Scarlet and Gray. And the sports world last night will be on the docket next. We're off and running on a First Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly. Hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
On Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app. New customers opt in and get a free lottery ticket. Download the app and start ordering lottery tickets today. Use code VOCAL. That's code VOCAL on Jackpocket. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 or older. Jackpocket is a lottery courier and not affiliated with the Ohio Lottery. Opt in for $5 in non-withdrawable lottery credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at jkpt.co/draw5.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Matty Ice here. Are you ready to rumble? Then get ready to roll on up to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Right now, they're unleashing huge savings on the all-new 2025 Silverado 1500. We're talking about up to $13,000 off MSRP. Or if you need some serious muscle, get a 2025 Silverado HD for as low as 3.9% APR for qualified buyers. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Keep your summer fun going in a new Toyota RAV4, America's best-selling SUV. Now through September 2nd, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.99 on RAV4 Hybrid. Excludes plugins. Or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $309 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
For a limited time, you can enjoy a savory sausage McMuffin with egg meal, including golden hash browns and a small hot coffee for just $5. Price and participation may vary.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of the things we constantly hear from customers, Wilson, it's impossible to pick a favorite. We've got 5 different window lines here at Pella, for the $300,000 to the $3 million home.
Yep, impossible to pick a favorite. My parents would always say that.
Oh, Wilson, that's so sweet.
Yeah, other than I'm an only child.
Oh. Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Thank you for listening to your local radio station. But stations like these might not be around for long. Last month in D.C., Republican senators cut radio funding, voting to end weather alerts, community news, and our way to stay connected. Rural America relies on radio, but Republican politicians left us behind. We can't trust them to fight for us. Paid for by the DSCC, dscc.org, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committees. DSCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Heat and humidity, the center of our forecast today. This afternoon into the low 90s. However, we'll also see chances of showers and thunderstorms, some which could have heavy downpours and gusty winds. We'll see daytime highs in the low 90s, and then for tonight, overnight lows down into the 70s, with chances of showers and storms diminishing overnight. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip. And I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Yeah, indeed you are, and here's your shot to score tickets to Ohio State and Texas. It's the season kickoff trivia tournament. It's Friday, August 29th at the O on Lane. Bring the heat, bring your A game, bring a teammate. Sign up your 2-person team right now at 971thefan.com. The season kickoff trivia tournament is sponsored by Logan Services. Are we to assume that everybody in the state of Ohio is off Friday except us? And Monday, for that matter? Is that fair?
Yeah, I think it's a fair assumption.
No one's working Monday or Friday, are they?
I think there's a lot of people off on Friday.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Necessary personnel only.
Yes. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I think everyone's off, man. Turning it into a nice 4-day weekend. This will be the first time since I've been here that I've worked Labor Day Monday. All these years. But we've never had an opener like this. You never had Texas out of the gates. You never had number 1 versus number 2 out of the gates. So it's changed everything. It's funny. Sometimes it feels, we had our show meeting today and we were talking about how it's next week, and we've been talking about Texas for, a long time now, and it still feels so far away, but all of a sudden now we're 10 days out and away you go, and you're going to go play a game, and it doesn't feel like it's possible, but time does march on. And so it'll be here before we know it for the game week extravaganza that is Ohio State and Texas, and the way to open that season. What do you guys, give me your diamond notes from last night. What did I miss while I was watching Jerry Jones?
Pain. Went to bed, Guardians were winning, woke up, Guardians had lost.
So I went to bed. The Reds were winning 4-1. Then I found out that they gave up that lead, and it was tied 4-4, and then they won it in the ninth. So I was happy when I woke up and saw that.
Now, the Royals have jumped Cleveland for the, I guess, in the chase for the American League wild card. So the lights are kind of starting to dim on the season. And they were kind of open the season dim, but they're extra dim now.
So while I may have been right on the Michigan penalties, I was dead wrong on the Cleveland Guardians winning the division.
Well, they're
Fair
still mathematically in it.
They're still in the mix.
You want to be
still in the mix a little bit. What did you guys? You guys are the baseball heads around here. What did you make of Manfred floating? We didn't get into this yesterday. Floating the idea of just blowing it all up, like no National League, no American League, true regional divisions. This made a little bit of the way around the sports world over the weekend. I'm not sure exactly when he leaked it, but I saw it. I want to say on Sunday. This talk of eliminating American League and National League and just putting everybody kind of geographically in the same areas. I assume this is about cost.
Yeah,
is what it is, right? Which is amazing that they can pay Juan Soto $700 million, but they're worried about the cost of travel. This sport has so lost me with the elimination or the DH in both leagues and all these other things. Like it's something I used to really enjoy. I'm out on it, as you can probably tell if you've listened regularly. I just don't watch it much anymore, if at all. That just seems like 16 bridges too far to me for a sport that just still is steeped in tradition. But maybe I need to get off my own lawn with this thing.
I'm not sure that you need to get off your lawn with it, because there are a lot of baseball fans, traditionalists, that look at this and say this is the dumbest idea ever. But remember, there's so many parallels in sport where you have Brian Seeley, who's, I guess, supposed to be running the College Sports Commission, whatever the hell that is, whenever the hell that happens. He's a baseball lawyer. And I think Rob Manfred is the kind of guy that looks around and says, what are other people doing? What are other things that I see when I look at college football, probably the second biggest moneymaker in sport in North America behind the NFL. And he sees college football's leadership just throwing stuff at the wall. Here's Manfred doing a lot of that. Well, let's float this idea. See what the response is. Like, they're trying to get back with ESPN. They've got, I think, Netflix, Apple TV are all interested in different parts of baseball. And I do think they look at the RSN model as something that's, if they don't look at it as dead, it's because they're just too slow to the actual point where it is dead. And they're trying to figure out, I think, something that makes more sense geographically from a new television distribution model.
Yeah, I think, to me, listen, I think once they win American League, National League, you got interleague play, no DH, all of that. I think you lost your two leagues for the most part, right? And I know traditionalists hate that. I think baseball with this idea would be trying to get regional rivalries, right? Like to have the Guardians and Reds, and we know how big that series is, and maybe it wouldn't be as big.
The Ohio Cup, baby.
Maybe the Ohio Cup wouldn't be as big if we got more of it and they were in the same division. I don't know, but I think they want more of that. Like, they want you used to have rivalries in baseball that didn't make any sense. Like, why were the Dodgers and the Reds a rivalry?
Yeah,
well, because they were in the same division, but it was so far away, and everything has changed with that. So, like, people in Chicago, they love White Sox Cubs, I'm guessing. So why not play it more if you can?
Yeah.
It just makes sense to me regionally.
Yeah. No, I think it would. I just think this sport is, it feels like they're throwing everything they can at the wall. I mean, they can feel it. And it does feel, though, like that it's had a bit of a renaissance. I mean, in terms of the people who are watching, I mean, it seems like the stands are mostly packed, and there's good attendance. Now, I acknowledge that my experience is tied primarily to the Guardians and the Reds, but I assume that it's going pretty well around the country, but he's trying to find new ways to create interest. I think, to me, it's weird to me that the National League has a DH. It's weird to me that you have a balanced schedule. When Interleague happened, it was like, all right, you're going to play a couple of Interleague series, and that was it. That, I think, had some appeal to it because you've never seen it before. But maybe I do need to open my mind to just, hey, let's put these all kind of in the same area. So for our teams, they would be in a division with who? It would be Detroit, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh.
I saw two different things. One, it was, I believe, the Reds, the Guardians, the Blue Jays, and the Tigers. And then I saw another one with the Reds, the Guardians, Tigers, I believe, and Pirates.
Okay.
I've seen a couple different things floated out.
I think,
boy, that's a tough sell for Toronto, isn't it? Like, you haven't getting used to playing the Yankees and the Red Sox all these years, and then playing the Guardians and the Reds and the Pirates.
So I saw both of them that have the Guardians and the Reds together, and I do think if this goes that direction, then I was thinking more towards, all right, then you package both of them together, and that's your TV deal in the state of Ohio.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? That's how you can, because the Guardians already don't do road pregame. Like, they just, here's the game.
Right.
And I even think at home it's a shortened post game, and it's even shorter pregame. So I think in terms of how you're going to get your baseball, it might be easier, but just with both teams, I should say.
So this one I'm looking at right now has the Reds, the Guardians, the Pirates, and then it would be an expansion Nashville.
How many teams do they want to add? 2?
Yeah. 2 is and I believe Nashville is one of the cities for sure they want to do.
I would do
think
Nashville
they were thinking
Portland.
Charlotte, something like that.
Don't do
maybe?
Charlotte. Don't do Charlotte. Don't do Charlotte. I wouldn't do that one. I think Portland would be kind of perfect. I mean, they got all they have is the Blazers out there. Go ahead, Reese.
Well, I don't have a ton of reference on it just because I was young, but the Montreal Expos, would there be desire to have them back in that city?
So my only experience in Montreal was a month I spent there one weekend on a guys trip, and what my experience in Montreal was that it's like walking into a foreign land. I mean, it's like walking into a European city. And the guy that we were there with, a buddy of mine knew, he was like a PR guy for the Alouettes, the CFL team. And he said that there was just no public money to build anything. So if they wanted to bring that team back to Montreal, and I don't know if there's, I mean, the hats are great, but I think it would take like a Canadian billionaire to say, this is what I want to do. And I want to bring a team back there. I would have a hard time believing that that Major League Baseball would rather be in Montreal than Portland or even Charlotte, if that's the way that they want to go. You have to remember that the Atlanta Braves were the only team in the entire South for much of baseball's history. So they own all of it. They own the entire South. So all of a sudden now you're going to put a team in Nashville, you're going to put a team in Charlotte. They still have to contend with the Braves. And that's going to be tough to kind of overcome that a little bit. But, I don't know. Look, maybe be open to it. Would it be cool to see you play teams that were close to you more often? Maybe it works. I don't know. But, they're trying. Go ahead, Vic.
I was just going to say the NFL did this, and it wasn't too crazy, but they did change it up, and that hasn't affected anything.
No, it wasn't as dramatic. Would they take Seattle out of the AFC and put them in the NFC? Was that the only swap we did in the NFL that I can think of?
Yeah, I know that they switched those, obviously. But, you switched the divisions around a little bit.
When they went from, they moved the Cardinals. The Cardinals were in the NFC East and moved them out west when they redid things. So, you can do it. This is a massive shakeup if they actually went through with it. One of the things that you're going to be able to count on very, very surely and absolutely this year is the play of Caleb Downs. He has put together the first 2 years of a career on defense that is really hard to find a match for. A 2-time All-American already and looking for 3 in a row this season. You're going to hear from him. You're going to hear from his coaches on what you can expect from him this year in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Your fantasy draft is here. The Smack Talk is starting, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Keep your summer fun going in the family-sized Toyota Highlander or the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander with 3 different powertrains and a full-size third row. Now through September 2nd, get a new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander with 4.99 APR financing or 5.99 on new Highlander and Grand Highlander hybrids. Subject to approved credit through TFS. Plus get 2 years no-cost maintenance included. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a First Friday Miracle Edition. We are 10 days out from the Buckeyes and the Horns at the Shoe. One of the guys who a lot is going to be heaped on is Caleb Downs. He's essentially a Swiss Army knife. He's an eraser. He was one of those guys I'll never forget. We used to have Tyvis on every Monday with us, and we would do like kind of the film breakdown of the Buckeye games. And one of the things that became abundantly clear once I had access to the All-22 was his impact. Because early on in the season, the way that they shoot it, you didn't see him all the time in screen. But then when you get a look at the All-22 and you see what he does, you go, oh, I see. Now it makes it's abundantly clear just how valuable this guy is. And he's back for one more year, and then next year will be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. They're going to put him in a lot of places. They're going to move him around. You're going to see him blitz. You're going to see him back in coverage. You'll see him all over the place, and you can't miss him because he's that type of rocket out there. Matt Patricia is the man in charge of deploying him in certain ways. Here's Matt Patricia on getting Caleb as close to the ball as often as possible.
As much as you can get him as close to the ball as possible, he's pretty good when he's around the ball. He usually makes some really good things happen. So if we're in a situation where maybe dictated by formation or coverage where, we're not getting him close enough to the ball, then we need to get him closer to the ball. We need to put him in those positions. Sometimes, whether it's formation or down and distance can determine that too, what kind of packages that you're running to have him in those different spots. He's such a great communicator. He's so strong with communicating, to the deep guys or to the down guys and being in all those different areas. And his ability, just his football savviness is, it's incredible just to be able to see the game. A lot of times, sometimes he's seeing the throw, but I think before the quarterback's made up his mind where he's going with it, he just has a great feel. So that's part of the decision of just trying to get him in those spots, and making sure that he can be around the ball as much as possible.
Here's Matt Patricia now on Caleb's IQ and how it can change what they are defensively.
Football conversations with Caleb are great. It's like talking to another coach, and the great part as a coach to be able to talk to a player that has that sort of vision and feel for the game is you can understand, like, hey, he can really see this. Maybe we can do this adjustment, or he can, be in this alignment and still be able to do this job. Okay, well, then we can maybe have this sort of look or this sort of pre-snap alignment. And really, that's the most important thing, right? It doesn't really matter what I see or how I, perceive the game. It's what he sees through his eyes, and that's something that I've done in the past. I think as a coach, you become a good coach through great players, and Caleb is a great player. And if you just listen to the things that he's telling you that he sees, now I can maybe help move him into some positions to be in spots. But certainly, we've got 10 other guys on the field that we have to coordinate with all of that and make sure that the chess pieces are kind of lined up in the right spots for the defense to succeed as a whole.
Caleb has certainly stepped up this year, and he has to, not just with what he is on the field, but what he is doing vocally in terms of leadership, because quite honestly, you lost a lot of big voices in that room. Caleb available yesterday. Here he is on being a vocal leader this year.
I think I'm just more of a vocal leader. Last year we had a lot of guys that were seniors and everything like that, and it was a very big cultivation of people, and now it's more of a small group of us doing it. So I would say just stepping out of my shell, trying to be more of a vocal leader to the guys.
Best safety to ever play here. Mike Doss is usually the answer.
That was mine.
Yeah. Jack Tatum, probably. You go way back. The best, I wasn't here for Doss, so the best single season I've ever seen a safety have is Malik Hooker's. He was a supernova. I remember talking to Tim May in the lead up to that, and he was like, I'll give him full credit on this. He gets a lot right because he always predicts the Buckeyes to win. But one that he absolutely got right was giving me a heads up on Malik Hooker. That there was whispers about him coming, and Malik Hooker he's a consensus All-American, first-team All-American. He was as good as you could be as a safety anywhere. But it was 1 year. Caleb has a chance to have a Mike Doss career. Mike won a national title. Mike was a 4-year guy. Caleb's going to be a 3-year guy, we assume. And the first year was at Bama when he was an All-American. But if he has 2 seasons here that stack up, if he can match last year's season this year, I'm not talking about national championship and all of that. There's a million factors that lead into that. But if he can match last year's season this year, he's going to be on a very short list. When you start putting together all-time Buckeye teams, he's going to be right there. The resume is going to hold up historically with some of the greats who have ever played here.
Yeah, and it's wild to think that in only such a short time he's been able to have this much of an impact, to where I say to myself as a Browns fan, they've got 2 first-round picks. One of those better be used on Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
Because he can kill you at any position, it feels like. You want to put a hand in the dirt, and a team I think would have to, I'm going to dust off the gimmick every week. This is a little bit of a spoiler that I want Caleb to have at least 1 carry in the running back spot, because he'll return punts. He'll be back there. I think there'll be special teams coaches that tell you, do not kick to 2.
Yeah.
Kick it as far away from him as possible. But you put him anywhere on the field that he's not normally lined up, and watch a team freak out and call a timeout. It goes back to when Chase Young all of a sudden was standing on 2 legs and just walking down the line of scrimmage, and whoa, wait a minute, whoa, stop.
Yeah.
That's the kind of impact he has at every single spot on the field. You have to account for him.
Tyvis Powell is driving up 71 North right now, fuming that we didn't mention him when we talked about the greatest safeties of all time at Ohio State.
He can keep driving.
Yeah.
But
we love you, buddy.
It's so interesting hearing all these guys, and it's the coaches, it's the players, it's everyone, talking about how this guy's mind for football is just so different. And I feel like last year, towards the end of the year, we started to see Jim Knowles maybe move him around a little bit and use him in that playoff run to kind of disguise things. But that's one of the things I'm so excited about for Matt Patricia this year. And he's talked about wanting to be multiple, wanting to be able to switch the defense up to who they are playing to try to take advantage of what the other team is doing. And seeing Caleb Downs I think we're going to see him all over the place. You heard him there talk about we want to get him close to the ball. Seeing him come up and maybe play some nickel or blitzing out of a linebacker spot, or just being able to disguise his coverages. And he's so smart where he can line up maybe out of position but get back to position so quick. I think they're going to be able to trick offenses so much this year with how they utilize him.
It's a pretty crazy thing when you think about the sliding doors if Nick Saban doesn't leave Alabama. Because if he doesn't, is Aaron Noland or Lincoln Kienholz the starting quarterback at Ohio State this year?
Probably.
Or are they in the portal and landing somebody else?
Maybe.
Like, is Johnny Mateer here?
Yeah, maybe Ohio State goes after Dylan Thieneman a little harder, and he's here instead of Oregon.
Well, that too. Yeah.
All kinds of things.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the Nick Saban retirement domino, once that was knocked down, it set off a chain of events that really changed football. I mean, it changed history. You think about the impact it had here. I mean, Julian would be the starting quarterback at Alabama this year. Caleb would be in his third year at Alabama. And you think about Seth McLaughlin, you think about Isaiah Bond, you think about all of the guys who bounced around because of that Saban retirement, and it changes it entirely. Thank goodness he did. We benefited tremendously from it. Your starting quarterback and the 1A best player on your football team for this year, both are Bama guys, and now they're Buckeyes, and they were Buckeyes for 2 years now, and so it's a pretty wild sliding doors moment. Yeah, he's got a chance. You go 3-time All-American, and now you're talking. He was the SEC Freshman of the Year. He was all SEC. He was all Big Ten, and the rest is history. And now he's going to have a chance. And I like your point on Patricia, because I do think Patricia is going to be. I think what Patricia will be defensively is going to free these guys up a lot. And I think that they're going to be as good as the defense was last year. It took a lot of veterans to get it there. I think this defense is just going to fly and hit. And I think Caleb is going to be the centerpiece kind of all of it by the time we get into the season. So I'm excited to see what they do with Arch Manning in Texas here in 10 days. The Cleveland Browns announced their starting quarterback on Monday. Joe Flacco was available yesterday. You will hear from him on how it all came about. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, guys, it's Timmy Hall, and I want to talk to you about the roof over your head. You know that thing that protects your house and everything in it? It's pretty important, and a lot of you are going to have to replace it soon, but be warned. There are companies out there that skip over the biggest part of the process, the attic ventilation. You see, if that attic doesn't have proper circulation, it can cause problems such as mold and rot. You got rot. And not to mention leaks in the wintertime and higher AC bills in the summer. This is one of the reasons I'm telling you about my guys at Victor's Home Solutions. They start with a free 21-point roof inspection, including a thorough inspection of that attic as well. They know that if that ventilation isn't right, that roof's going to be built on a shaky foundation. That's why every Victor's roof comes with a well-thought-out attic ventilation plan, and that's why they can offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Money-saving discounts and financing incentives are also available. Call for your free 21-point roof inspection and get that estimate today. 866-VICTORS or go to victors.com.
Cash for Clunkers continues during the Honda Summer Event at Lindsay Honda.
Listen up, Columbus. Cash for Clunkers is big money towards your next ride.
Up to $3,500 minimum for your trade.
Use it for the down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash.
Lease a new 2025 HR-V two-wheel drive LX or 2026 Civic four-door LX for just $299 a month. Zero cash down. Just bring us your clunker. Shop Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store now. For details, visit lindsayhonda.com.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, Ohio State fans. While others cut corners, like that team up north, Valvoline Instant Oil Change is Buckeye-level quality. We train hard and treat every day like game day. We're always quick, but never rushed. And you can stay in your car while our experts do the work. Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit valvoline.com/Buckeyes to find your nearest location and access exclusive fan savings.
Coffee, iced cap, refreshers. Tim Hortons has all your favorite beverages. And now you can get your favorite bite for less. When you buy any size beverage, add a baked daily donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. So next time you order your favorite Tim's beverage, Add something that satisfies your cravings and your wallet. The $1, $2, $3 menu. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply.
Do you feel that? The season is getting closer. Buckeye football comes your way in 10 days. Every game, every season. Proud to be your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Holding. Defense.
The ref totally blew that call.
Oh, I'm sure he'll make the right call next time.
It's too late. It cost us the game.
Well, it's just one game.
That loss eliminated us from the playoffs.
Oh, the playoffs are on so late. Now you'll be well rested.
Okay, I need you to stop talking now.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm Brent, and I've been on Nutrafol for almost 5 years now. I like Nutrafol because it was a hair growth supplement that was completely drug-free. After 3 months, my hair got stronger and thicker, which gave a huge boost to my social life. I mean, it was life-changing, to be honest.
Get growing at Nutrafol.com/men. That's Nutrafol.com/MEN. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Real customers were compensated to share their stories.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Scary moment yesterday up in Berea as the Browns were going through a training camp. It was open to the media, I think in large part because they went on the road twice. They went to Charlotte and they went to Philly. Training camp, as it were, with fans and everything is over, but they opened it up to the media. And one of the things that happened yesterday was an alarming one. Denzel Ward was injured in practice yesterday. Multiple reporting saying that it is not a serious issue. That would be as devastating as can be for them. They've already, without MJ Emerson, it's critical that the cornerback play holds up because of what they want to try to be defensively. If you guys were the Haslam family and you owned the Browns, what would you want this season to be?
A decider on if they need to draft a quarterback next year with one of 2 first-round picks. I need to know at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Is that where I'm directing or at least nudging my football operations staff to go in the direction of quarterback with one of the 2 picks?
But don't win too many games while the quarterbacks are showing me that they can do that, because I think you're going to have 2 picks in the top 10 if that's the case.
Did you see the Field Yates mock?
I did not.
I did not.
Is it Caleb Downs, one of them?
With the number 1 pick in the 2026 NFL draft, the Cleveland Browns select Arch Manning, quarterback, Texas. So this comes on the heels of Arch saying, I don't know what Grandpa was talking about. I don't know if you saw that yesterday. Arch had an availability, and they asked him about, are you staying 2 years at Texas? Because your grandpa said that you were, and he said, I don't know where he got that. So I thought that was pretty interesting. You got something, Reese?
Yeah, I don't know where he got that from. He texted me and apologized about that, though. I'm really just taking it day by day right now.
Come on, Grandpa. I love them just taking it day by day.
Yeah.
I still don't expect him.
No, I don't either.
It'd be foolish, I think, for the Browns to.
No, I don't think the Browns should. I don't think that the New Orleans Saints should. I think the Browns believe, I think their staff believes, I think the veteran players on that team believe that they're going to be better than people think they're going to be. This team has changed dramatically if you go back to the draft in terms of what it was going to be to what it is. If you go back to the draft, there was still a hope at that point that they would have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. They found out that they wouldn't. The first quarterback they signed was Kenny Pickett. And for those of you who say, well, it was never going to be Pickett, just remember this. Quinshon Judkins, after he was drafted, mentioned the people who texted him, and the first person he heard from was Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett was going to be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco was the break glass if Kenny Pickett either struggles or gets hurt. Well, Kenny got hurt, hasn't played team since the 4th practice of preseason, and so Flacco's the guy, and he's been good. He's earned it. He's quite honestly the only quarterback who's been healthy there the entire month. He was available yesterday. Here is Joe Flacco on Kevin Stefanski telling the room that Joe was the starter.
Yeah, we all. I mean, Kevin came in the room and talked to all of us, and then we all talked. We've all talked. I mean, yeah, we're in there. We're this close to each other every single day. I mean, there can be some awkwardness, but at the end of the day, like, we're all adults. We just want to be honest with each other, and we want people to be honest with us. And at the end, like, if you get that, we've all been through situations like this. You feel good about whatever it is. Honesty is the main thing. Looking somebody in the eye and having a conversation with them is the main thing. It doesn't mean you're going to be happy and all that with whatever has happened and going on, but I think that's all that any of us can ask for. So listen, the guys in that room are extremely professional, and we all know how to handle ourselves, and we're friendly, so, you know, it is what it is.
I think where this wins is with Joel Bitonio, with Wyatt Teller, with Myles Garrett, with Denzel Ward. I think it wins with Jerry Jeudy. I think it wins with David Njoku. I think this is Joe Flacco is a fun watch. Now, he'll throw it to the other team. He's done it his whole career.
You'll ride the roller coaster, baby.
Yep. But it'll be a fun stretch of games. You're going to get shots deep, a lot of shots deep. He's not afraid to unfurl it and let it go. I think you're going to see if Isaiah Bond can get up to speed quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a package of deep plays just for him week 1 against Cincinnati. I think Jerry Jeudy's probably very happy with this because of what Flacco can do. This goes back to what I was saying in terms of what I think they thought they were going to be, which was going to be a power run game and bleed clock, monopolize the ball, play great defense, and try to win games 17-13, to now, because of some of the injuries that have happened, the fact that Quinshon Judkins still is not there, this changes a little bit, and I think they're going to throw it around a little bit more than probably they would have had this gone a different way. So they've been malleable, and so now it will be Flacco going forward. We had it yesterday on the poll, like, what is the number of games he starts? He'll start. I don't sense that. I would be shocked if he was benched for performance, his personal performance, but at some point, and that's why I asked you guys the questions to start, at some point you have got to see Gabriel and Shedeur play in an NFL game to see if either one of them is your answer at quarterback, or if you're going to draft a quarterback in the first round next year.
You just mentioned maybe the switch in philosophy of offense now with Flacco there. Pretty sure Amari Cooper is still available. Let's go just try to regain all the 2023 magic. Let's bring him back. Him and Jeudy. I mean, there's nothing else outside of Jeudy at receiver. You're going to be throwing it in Njoku and Fannin a lot, so let's bring Amari back.
Yeah, I think Bond is going to give them. He's a weapon. I mean, we did this yesterday in the afternoon, and the Browns now in last year's draft have 7 of Dane Brugler's top 100 players. 7 of their rookies were in his top 100 players list, and not including Gabriel. But you got Judkins, Schlesinger, Mason Graham, Dylan Sampson, Shedeur Sanders, Isaiah Bond. Who was the 7th? Who am I missing? There's one more that was Fannin.
Fannin.
Yeah, 7 of the top 100 players. So it has the chance now to be a draft that transforms their depth of talent in a big way, and quite honestly, it has to, because they're getting really old really quick. Go ahead, Reese.
I'm just looking at the schedule here. So they're in London playing the Vikings on October 5th. Then they got that week off, and you're looking at the Steelers, though, the next opponent. I'm wondering if the team isn't performing well after that London game, do you really want to throw a rookie at the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, but you're coming off the bye.
Yeah.
And so if there is a movement to another quarterback, that's when I think it would be. That would be the spot. Like coming out of if they're, what is that, 6 games in or 5 games in?
It'd be 5 games in playing the Vikings.
If you're 1-4 or 2-5, like at some point, I think you got to see what these rookies have. So that's something to watch for on that. Second hour of the program up next. We kick it off with a little Hey Guys on a First Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Call Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My AC stopped working. Your competition says it's fried. When I saw their cost to replace it, I could have just died.
We can give a second opinion, give you options and advice. We'll strive to earn your trust and make you a client for life.
Get a free second opinion. Replace or repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The dog days of summer are the best days to save at Coughlin Chevrolet. Lease a new 2026 Chevy Equinox, only $259 a month. New 2025 Silverado, lease for $359 a month. See our full inventory at CoughlinChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Coughlin has the car for you.
36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 9/2/25.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
The Columbus Zoo invites you to follow the footsteps and the tales of animals from around the world. Explore our newest region, North America Trek. So what are you waiting for? Get your tail to our trails only at your Columbus Zoo.
The trash talk, the bad trade requests, the horrible reaches on draft picks. It's fantasy football time, and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus is giving you a chance to hold your fantasy draft in a fantasy location. On August 24th, host your fantasy draft party at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook, which will include a $100 dining credit, draft board, and swag. Visit 971thefan.com and sign up for your fantasy draft party package. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER for help.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport, now open at Polaris Fashion Place.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, our full line of fresh Tyson chicken is on sale. Select varieties or buy one, get one free with your card. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You think you know the odds? Picture this. You're at the gas station grabbing 4 delicious taquitos when you see an Ohio lottery ticket with 1 in 4 odds. You think, if I buy 4 in a row, 1's a definite win. Sorry, friend, but you'd be wrong. 1 in 4 odds means across the millions of tickets printed, 1 in every 4 is a winner, but not every 4th ticket since they're randomly distributed across the state. But 4 taquitos? That's a guaranteed win, 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 win. Learn more about common lottery myths at ohiolottery.com/knowtheodds. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little Chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
We're brought to you today by GNC. Hope I'm not interrupting your workout routine, but the GNC Live Well sale is going on right now. Buy one, get one, 50% off everything in the store and at GNC.com. That's right, everything. Protein, pre-workout, creatine, vitamins, supplements, and so much more. Go for it all and don't miss out. At GNC, nutrition isn't just a department, it's the whole freaking store. You got goals, GNC has results. Visit your local GNC store or go to GNC.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Morning, I'm Eric Reeser. The Reds are on a roll. Cincinnati's won 3 in a row and 7 of their last 10, including a 6-4 win over the Angels last night in Anaheim. Hunter Green struck out 12 in 6 1/3. Redlegs go for the series sweep tonight at 9:38. Cincinnati's still one game back in New York for that final NL wildcard spot. As for the Guardians, Cleveland lost at Arizona late Tuesday. Guardians have lost 4 of their last 5. They'll play the Diamondbacks today at 3:40 in the series rubber match. In the NFL, Browns corner Denzel Ward left practice Tuesday with a shoulder injury. No word on his official status, but reports say it's not considered to be serious. Cleveland's going to host the LA Rams Saturday at 1 o'clock in their preseason finale. You can hear that one over on ESPN Columbus. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Swimming in debt with rates as low as 8.99% APR. Save your summer with a debt consolidation loan. Visit bmifcu.org/consolidate.
Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour on a First Friday edition of the program. Time for a little Hey Guys. Hit it, fellas.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank Distillery Co. Learn more at highbankco.com.
Yeah, the winner here gets the $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank, the free distillery tour and the tasting for up to 10. Home of the best blended whiskey in America, 3 years running, located right here in town. Make your reservation at highbankco.com. Drink local, drink High Bank. Little teaser, we could have another barrel pick from your Uncle Bo coming relatively soon from our great friends at High Bank. So you have that to look forward to. Potentially.
Sounded like a know the scores to me right there.
Potentially. Pay attention. Go ahead, Reese.
We'll start in the YouTube chat, and this might be something we throw out there, give you time to think about, and then come back to later on in the segment. But Ace asks, hey guys, it's week 0. If you could create the perfect week 0 college football game, what place would you love the game to be played at, and who would be the first matchup? He throws out a game in front of the Great Pyramids between LSU and Georgia.
All right, so I would say from the tone of this question that he's looking for an international game, and he's looking for, and so you need big matchups.
I guess it could be galactic if we're putting one on the moon.
Yeah, why stop there? Yeah, absolutely. Mars, we've seen Martian. It seems like if you have potatoes, you can go there. I'll tell you where I would like to look. This is what jumps to mind. I would like to see Ohio State play Alabama at the Bernabeu in Madrid. Because one of the things we did last year was, hey, like, who cares about people saying it's negative that you spent $20 million on the roster? You're Ohio State. You think Real Madrid's out there, like, apologizing for spending more on players than anybody else? No, they're winning Champions Leagues. That's what you do. Like, you don't. It's not a sense of shame to do that. So those two programs, I think, are... If you're doing Mount Rushmore, 2 most important, those are them. So let's go those 2 in Madrid to open the season.
So I think these games in different places that may not have been meant for football are okay sometimes.
Yeah.
But normally I want football in places that were built to have football. And I'm not going to lie. Ohio State, Texas, to me, is about as big as it gets. So give me the matchup we're getting in the opener for week 0, and put it in Jerry World or the Raiders Stadium in Vegas or SoFi, and let's go.
Well, we saw it in Jerry World.
Yeah, we already know how that would kind of look and sound.
But
Jerry World's pretty good. Jerry World is, those are pretty good, yeah.
My amendment to that would be Ohio State, Texas, do it in Columbus, do it week 0, do it at 7:30.
Well, geez,
that's perfection right there.
Quit making sense, Reeser.
I also had, Bo, it was interesting, you said the Bernabeu. I said the Bernabeu on the bricks. Have Ohio University play Miami in a rematch of the MAC championship.
There you go.
It might not be well attended, but it could be fun.
Yeah, there you go.
Fun is what we're looking for. Speaking of fun, Troy asks on Twitter, hey guys, I'm looking for a drink menu for next Friday.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, we will be at the O-On Lane doing a live show and a pre-Texas tailgate. But Troy asks, what is all 3 of your guys' officially endorsed drinks for next Friday's live show? He says he's looking to partake in all 3 for that program.
So easy for me. I mean, it's a morning. We continue to do the show 9 to noon. It's a Friday morning, so to me, that's a bloody beer. That's a red beer is what that's going to be. I'll have to make sure that we have the ability to have that, but that would be my selection on that.
So for me, I'll just kind of go to, well, let's start here. One, for football, you can't go wrong with like a big, tall draft. Whatever your favorite beer there that they have on tap, you can't go wrong with that. But if I'm drinking all day, my go-to is always Captain and Coke. That's what that's what's in the golf bag. If I'm going to have a long day, I can sip on those all day and be just fine.
Mother's milk, as my buddy Dusty Felska called them.
I like this, Dusty.
I'm usually a Miller Lite guy, but something, and I can't put my finger quite on it, has me thinking, a nice cold Coors Light. When the mountains turn blue, brother, that's the beer for you.
Well done.
What a salesman.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring, I'll bring a little, because usually bars don't have it. I'll bring a little Clamato, little celery salt, and I'll set you boys up with a couple of bloody beers.
I bet the O on Lane has it. I bet they're ready to go.
Okay. Well, we want to make sure that they do. Let's get our advanced scouts out there and make sure they have it.
President Bush asks on Twitter, hey guys, which movie character would you switch lives with? Your options are Tommy Callahan, Ace Ventura, Austin Powers, or Ron Burgundy.
I mean, I was a low-rent Papa Burgundy, so I know exactly what that's all about. I feel like Austin Powers is everything else would kind of be a pain in the neck. Let's just think of the counterparts he had in that. So it's Elizabeth Hurley, right?
Oh, baby.
It's Heather Graham throwing 160.
Oh, my.
Beyonce.
Oh.
He has no responsibilities, is charming seemingly to all. Yeah, I think it's Austin Powers. I think that's the answer. By the way, President Bush is in. He's the first voice you hear on the Cowboys doc that Jerry Jones did that's on Netflix is President W.
Now, Bo, as you said, you were in your past life a low-rent Ron Burgundy. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Ron Burgundy didn't have a problem in that department either.
No, I think he did
with
okay.
the females. So
don't act like you're not impressed.
I think Ron Burgundy would be pretty cool. But I mean, come on now, my favorite movie of all time is Tommy Boy. How could I not be Tommy Callahan?
Tommy Callahan.
Let's go.
It does work out pretty well for Tommy Callahan at the end.
Never been cow tipping before?
I just watched that this weekend. It was on, and I forgot.
How could you not?
They had like him flying direct from Sandusky to Chicago.
That's amazing.
Sandusky International Airport. He was flying direct from Sandusky to Chicago. David Spade's going, why? I need to go direct to Chicago. And I'm going, dude, go to Sandusky and you show me where there's that airport.
Didn't they even do like Sandusky to Cuyahoga Falls?
They did. Yeah, they did. They're flying. It's ridiculous.
Let's see. I'm going to go with Rand on Twitter. He asks, he starts, fresh popcorn is one of my favorite aromas, but 30 seconds later, burnt popcorn is one of the worst smells. And he asks, is there anything else that changes so quickly and dramatically?
A lot of the things, like the first thing that jumped in my head was like scallops. Like if you grill them, like they're perfect until they're not. I feel that way about a steak. Like if you wait, like medium rare, if you wait 30 seconds and it gets to medium, it's done. Then I don't even, and just have it. I don't want it. Those two things jump out in terms of just, you have to get the timing right.
Smell-wise, though?
Oh, smell-wise. Is that where he's going for? Or is he going for flavor, the taste? He's going smell?
Yes.
Something that's
the
perfect.
Question is aroma. The question is aroma, but
that's tougher than.
I'll say
anything burnt is not great.
Yeah, I will say this. Like, I think sometimes with smells, something will smell good, and then you get too close to it, and it's too much, and it won't be like some perfumes or something. Yeah. I'm very weird. I have always enjoyed the smell of a skunk unless you get like right up on that, and then it's like too much and it's bad. Gasoline's kind of the same way. I don't mind the smell of gasoline unless you're like putting your nose right in the gas can. Then you're like, whoa.
I did not have that on my bingo card today. I did not have.
Did you say a skunk?
I did.
I've enjoyed the smell of skunk, is what Bake just said.
But if you get too close, whoa.
Well, yeah.
I mean, All right.
They're the ultimate pest. A couple of years ago, I had one, and it was a mess to try to eradicate them.
I have heard if you get a skunk as a baby, though, and remove whatever gland it is that causes them to spray and smell, they're the best pets ever.
That is the most my dad statement I've ever heard.
That's what I've heard.
I have heard that if you get a baby skunk and you remove the glands, what did you just say?
Who's doing that procedure? Bring me your skunk and I'll remove its glands.
Who's testing that theory out?
I don't know.
Who saw Pepe Le Pew and just said, I need one of these guys?
I mean, if it's anybody, it is your father or a similar person. Works on a ranch, just, I don't know.
How many of our audience do you think knows who Pepe Le Pew is?
Probably not many.
No, I would put it at about 60%.
Yeah, let's put it on the poll. Do you know who Pepe Le Pew is? That cartoon could never get made now.
No. Real quick, just because this popped up.
Roger Sterling.
From Drew in the YouTube chat. What's the best burger joint in America? Your favorite, I think, is the better question.
Listen, I know it gets a lot of hype, but I've never had one not be perfect, and that's the In-N-Out Animal Style Double-Double. Every time I've had one, I have them once a year. When we go to California, I order one. Every time I order it, it's perfect. The combination of fresh ingredients, they get the smash burgers perfectly grilled. The American cheese is, kind of that, it's making your mouth watering just talking about it, that molten American cheese. And then the sauce, it checks every single box. It's reliable every single time. So I'll go that one. That's the one for me. What do you guys got?
I've said this before. Back in the day when they were around this area, I always loved the hamburger, the cheeseburger at Hooters. I'm a big fan of the burger at Longhorn. I think that's delicious. Those were always two of my favorites.
Reese?
Johnny's Tavern off Trayview Road.
It's a good spot.
In Columbus has the best burger in Central Ohio. But the Grandview Cafe has also got a really good smash burger. Not a lot of frills.
I think Thurman's would argue with you on the best in Central Ohio. They would try to fight you on that.
Their burger is fine. It's gigantic.
You can't. It's not
unless you're trying to go for an eating challenge.
Yeah,
it's just too much.
When those guys come in for the Arnold and they get in line at Thurman's to suck those things down, I do think that the smash burger wrecked the restaurant burger, because if you have a choice between like a restaurant burger and a smash burger, I don't know how you wouldn't choose smash. It's the superior burger in every way. It's got way more flavor.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, we got to pick a winner.
We do.
Who do you like, Reese?
Well, the burger question got me hungry, but Ace asking about new CFP or CFB Week 0 games and locations was a lot of fun, and we're all about fun on this program.
There you go. All right, so Ace, you're the big winner. You get the $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank, the free distillery tour and the tasting for up to 10 folks. When you're talking about High Bank, you're talking about the home of the best blended whiskey in America, 3 years running. It's right here in town, Grandview, Gahanna, Westerville. Make your reservation at highbankco.com. Drink local. Drink High Bank. We also have a giveaway. This is next Friday. We will be broadcasting at the O on Lane. Here is your shot to be involved in a trivia contest where the winner gets tickets to the Ohio State-Texas game. So 821-9710 is the phone number. You're not getting tickets to Ohio State-Texas. You're being entered into the trivia tournament for the right to play for tickets to Ohio State, Texas. The season kickoff trivia tournament is sponsored by Logan Services. Let's go fourth caller at 821-9710 scoops those up. Lots happening in college football as we are in week 0 now. We'll go around the sport coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan. Coheed and Cambria and Taking Back Sunday. Live in Columbus. Coheed and Cambria and Taking Back Sunday with special guest Foxing Kemba Live Outdoor Saturday, October 23rd. Get tickets now at AXS.com. Brought to you by Promo West Productions.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com, 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road, or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids, and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
Ohio's public school educators devote their careers to making sure every student feels valued and respected, no matter what. When students feel like they belong, they contribute their best. And when schools nurture their potential, our students' dreams are in reach. Stand with us for the great public schools our students deserve.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Heat and humidity, the center of our forecast today. This afternoon into the low 90s. However, we'll also see chances of showers and thunderstorms, some which could have heavy downpours and gusty winds. We'll see daytime highs in the low 90s, and then for tonight, overnight lows down into the 70s, with chances of showers and storms diminishing overnight. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan. Drink recommendations, movie reviews, sports discussion, or whatever the hell Reeser does. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, we got a skunk update.
Yeah, Bo. So we've had some people on the YouTube chat chiming in on what I said about the skunks, that I kind of like the smell, and I've heard that they were really good pets if you get that gland that causes them to spray taken out of them. Nate says he's heard the same thing. I just saw this one as we were coming back. This is Dewey. I had a friend who had a pet skunk. The scent gland was removed. They named it Chanel, and it was an amazing pet.
I can't wrap my head around why you would do that. They're perfectly good cats and dogs. What would make you seek that out?
I don't know. Maybe someone liked Pepe Le Pew and they wanted a skunk.
We put it to the people asking if you'd heard of Pepe Le Pew, and we're only north of 20 votes, but 95% of those 20 respondents say they had. And I'd imagine anybody over the age of 35. I mean, I'm 35, and I remember watching those cartoons growing up. So I can't remember, though, if Pepe Le Pew was in Space Jam, but that's something.
Was he?
I don't think so. I'll have to look that up. But Troy responds, Mom had a pet skunk named Pew growing up as a kid. What? And then Troy says Baker's exact scenario described what happened. So they said, we want a skunk, removed the scent glands, and lived as a nice companion.
Did anyone ask the skunk?
I mean,
they're like, hey, dude, you're going to come into
living his best life.
Some domestication. We're going to remove some glands, but it's all going to work out fine.
Michael says in the YouTube chat that he's with Baker about the skunk smell.
Oh, he likes it.
And Baker, you're also being accused of indulging in marijuana because of the idea you like the skunk smell, which
they said Shark left some of his stash, and I found it.
As someone who may have indulged earlier in his life, I can't agree with it. It smells the same.
Yeah,
I think really
they're familiar. They're similar.
They're similar, but only if the quality of the grass is bad.
And that is not actually something that I partake in.
There is a. Thank you for clearing that up. There is a. It's legal now, Bake. You're fine.
Yeah.
There is a point where when you get really close to something that has been sprayed by a skunk, and we had to deal with this all the time on the Ponderosa. Dogs would get into it all the time. Would get into them, where it is reminiscent of Sex Panther. Speaking of Ron Burgundy, where you can taste it. Like it has that type of that strong of an aroma. Pepe Le Pew is not. I never liked when they would do those. That was my lead. Give me all the Yosemite Sam you want. Give me all the Elmer Fudd you want. Give me the Wile E. Coyote. I'm for all of that as long as Bugs is in it. And it was always strange when they would cut to like the 7-minute vignette at Pepe Le Pew and none of the other guys were in it. It's like we're just going to watch this guy try to chase down this cat over and over again. Like that's what we're going for. So he was not on my list of favorites for sure.
He was in love though.
Well, I don't know that it was consensual love. He was quite persuasive. I don't think he ever got it rolling anyway. Speaking of persuasive, it is common thought around football, college and pro, that Arch Manning will play 2 years as a starting quarterback at Texas. We talked about this yesterday in terms of Dane Brugler ranking him as the number one quarterback available for next year's draft, all with the understanding that most people expect that he will return to Texas. We played the clip earlier about Arch Manning responding to Archie Manning about the idea of him playing 2 years at Texas. You go ahead and play that again, Reese, if you want, and that'll kind of set up where we're going.
Yeah, I don't know where he got that from. He texted me and apologized about that, but I'm really just taking it day by day right now.
So if he does all that is expected of him, and they're the number one team in the country, and I'm pretty sure he's number one in the Heisman odds, if they win the national championship and he wins the Heisman, would he still come back? Is that, like, what more could you do? Like, he's wealthy already with family wealth, and then he's making about $6 million a year playing for Texas with all the sponsorship stuff that he has, and then on top of it, like you just run that back for another year of it. I think that would be a fascinating thing. He's going to be able to do what his uncle did, not Eli Payton. And what Payton did after his junior year was look at who was drafting number one in the draft and say, yeah, I don't want a part of that. And the team that was drafting number one that year was the St. Louis Rams. The player they picked was Orlando Pace. If Peyton Manning was it, which, by the way, worked out very well, but if Peyton Manning were in that draft, he would have been a St. Louis Ram. That's the way that would have gone. So I do think what this allows for him to do is be choosy with where he goes. Now, the thing that's crazy is the team that is we're almost done with two-a-days. The team to me that looks most in position to draft number one overall is the New Orleans Saints. I mean, that to me, they look like they're going to draft number one. I'd be surprised if it's anybody other than them. Another team that a lot of people think could be in that mix is the Cleveland Browns. So both the Saints, which is his hometown, and the Browns, who are owned by the Haslams, know him very well. They know him very well. I guarantee you, Arch Manning grew up around the Benson family in New Orleans. That's not that big of a town. They definitely mingled a lot. And the same thing would be true with the Haslams because of the connection to Peyton. So and Jimmy said a month ago he's coming back. So everybody kind of knows that. But I did find his comments interesting that he wouldn't commit to it, that he was saying, hey, we'll see how all of this goes. And if you lay out a scenario where you do all of the things that he's expected to do, which would be insane to do that in 1 year as a starter, then is it now more appealing for you to play either A, with a team like the Browns, who are going to a dome in 2029 and have an ownership group that will spend whatever is necessary to win, or to play for your hometown team? So he can kind of see where this is going and make his decision based on that too, which is a lot of power.
Yeah, he's got the most leverage in this situation because, you look, there are three teams that I could see with the number one overall pick: the Browns, the Colts, and the Saints. Now, all of three very different, although I guess not so different, quarterback questions going into the season. Like, I think they both want to come out of 2025 saying, is quarterback the A1 need? I think the Saints will probably say yes. The Colts will probably say yes. As a Browns fan, I'm inclined to think they're going to say yes, but who knows what Shedeur, Dylan Gabriel could be. And then it depends on how aggressive is 2 or 3 going to be to go up to 1 to get Arch Manning if he decides to come out. And would he pull that card, or would he play that card, I should say, of, if it's the Colts, I'm not playing there, even though his uncle played and has a statue there. It's the Browns, I'm not interested in that. I'd rather do the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, Eli did that. Eli said, I'm not playing for the Chargers. Don't pick me.
If it's the Saints and they have the 3rd pick, would he say, all right, if you come up and get me, I'll go. But if you don't, then I'm going to stay for Texas one more season.
Those are all of the things that of course he can do those things.
And that's the thing, like, he can do that. So all of this, I also saw a headline this morning that's like, nobody needs the college football season to start more than Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Like, that's valid.
A couple other things around the sports, around the sport of college football. Notre Dame, to the surprise of no one, named redshirt freshman C.J. Carr the starting quarterback on Tuesday. He beat out sophomore Kenny Minchey for the job. Of course, he is the grandson of former Michigan head coach Lloyd Carr, so he'll make his first start at Miami. That's a great week 1. This might be an all-time week 1. I mean, there are several great games and something every single day. One other thing that I wanted to bring attention to was Michigan getting a commitment from 5-star running back prospect Savion Hitter, the number 1 running back in the 2026 class. He committed to Michigan on Tuesday over Ohio State, Georgia, and Tennessee. This is precisely what the NCAA, which is so feckless, should have been trying to do to Michigan. If you were really trying to hurt them, and basically Michigan laughed at the idea of, oh yeah, you're going to withhold money from us, so what? Watch this. And Michigan's spending a lot on prospects right now, a ton. And it feels like they have a get-out-of-jail-free card with Larry Ellison and their various boosters. So they were able to offer the most, and I don't hold it against them. They should. This is the business we've chosen. But as a warning to Ohio State fans out there, unless you start finding a way to bring in money to compete head-to-head with Michigan for recruits, you're going to get this over and over again. This is going to be repeatable because they are aggressive right now, and the checkbook is open. We'll talk to Jake Troder in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $404 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Summer's winding down, but you know what? There's still time to drop 20 with Awaken 180's 20-pound summer slim down. That's how I got started, 20 gone fast, and it propelled me straight to my goal of dropping over 75 pounds. You'll still eat, drink, enjoy summer, but the scale's finally moving. Then you finally hit fall with some energy, confidence, and clothes that actually fit again. Awaken 180's coaches, they keep you on track so the weight stays off. You can go to awaken180weightloss.com to start your first 20 now and finish summer on a win streak.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Hi, this is Ron from the Good Feet store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com. Or stop in today at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway in Grove City.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let me introduce you to a man with a magnificent salt and pepper beard. A man who's currently roasting lamb on a spit. A man who runs the Rocky River Greek Festival. That man is Jake Troder.
Indeed it is, and he joins on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Buddy, we are at week 0, and away we go. Have you been to Manhattan, Kansas, or Ames, Iowa?
Oh, many times. Both places.
So they play this week, Farmageddon. They're playing it in Ireland. I was trying to explain, and since you would maybe have the answer to this. If you are a fan of Iowa State or Kansas State, and you live in Manhattan or Ames, how do you begin to get to Dublin? What does that connection look like? What's that drive look like?
It's hard to get to those places from, like, Chicago, to be honest.
Right.
So when I was in Oklahoma City, I would just drive to Manhattan, driving to Kansas City. It's really cool driving through Kansas. And I remember, like, in the spring, they set all these grass fires on purpose.
Okay.
And I assume it has to do with agriculture. I can't remember the reason, but like you'd be driving to Manhattan and it was like an Armageddon situation because like the hills were on fire everywhere. So that's number one. Ames, you would stay in Des Moines. That's only like I think a 45-minute hour drive from so bad. And you would go Kansas City. So Chicago, I'm sure there's an Aer Lingus flight to Dublin, and then Manhattan, you would go to Kansas City, and same thing, Chicago, Aer Lingus. So like, not the easiest way to get there, but I think they made it. I think they left. I think they're leaving today, actually. Will Howard's brother is still on K-State, so I think his whole down there.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize his brother was still at K-State. Yeah, I knew it was remote, and I thought, my God, of all of the games to play in Dublin, take the two most middle-of-America programs that you can find and go play them in Dublin. I mean, it's such a crazy thing. Do you think we will get to a point, I'm going to ask you about, the expanded playoffs and all these things that are coming in a second, but we have got to get to a point where week 0 is week 1, don't we? I mean, that feels like the minimum requirement going forward.
What do you mean, more than one game or how many
full
games
slate.
this weekend?
I think week 1 has to be week 0. I think you got to get Texas, Ohio State this weekend in the future to make this work because you're crossing over with the NFL just way too much, and that's not a battle you're ever going to win.
Well, especially now with the expanded would.
All right, having some phone trouble with Jake. Let's try and reconnect, Bake, with Jake on that. He's dropping in and out a little bit. We've talked about this a lot on the show, the calendar and where that needs to shake out. And it's becoming abundantly clear that as we continue to race to adding more teams to this thing so that there's more revenue, that the calendar doesn't work at all. And to me, the simplest thing would just be to move everything back or up, however you want to phrase it, and play week 1 right now, play week 0 last weekend, just start practice a little earlier if you feel like you need to. But to me, that seems like the common sense thing going forward with this thing as we continue. You're going to get to 16 games at some point. Go ahead, Jake. Sorry, I think hopefully you have a little better connection now.
Yeah, Bo, I was saying, I think it was Dan Lanning who said, let's have the national championship on January 1st, which I don't think is a terrible idea. Like the NFL, they don't take a 4-week layoff between the end of the regular season and the start of the playoff. Like, let's get right to it. But in order to do that, you've got to move the season up. So, yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, let's get going. You know, the one thing I remember the NFL, I used to love Labor Day weekend covering the NFL because, there's nothing happening. And, you know, you're going to have 2 weekends basically with college football if you do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, you get 2 weekends to yourself before the NFL, 2 full weekends to yourself before the NFL starts. To me, it makes all the sense in the world. I heard Lanning. I like the idea of the semifinals on New Year's Day, New Year's Day, hopefully, and then play the national championship game. I would love to see it on a Saturday, right? The first Saturday after whatever, something like that. But we'll see where this all shakes out. What did you make of Petiti leaking out 24 and 2018 playoffs?
I mean, honestly, I thought it was one of the dumbest things I think I've ever seen. I mean, what are we doing? I don't understand this. I can't figure out this, Bo. I thought the playoff worked pretty well last year. Maybe a tweak here and there. Why are we changing something that we just implemented? And then also, I thought everybody kind of liked.
Well, the answer to it, though.
What are we doing? Money?
Yes, of course. They need more inventory. Because, I mean, you saw the comments from the Virginia Tech athletic director that they're $56 million short on being able to compete at the highest level. You can't find that in the seat cushion. So the only thing you have that more people want is inventory. So if you have more games that are consequential, you can sell them for a higher price. They are selling the soul of this sport.
There's a solution to this, Bo. It's called collective bargaining. There's a pie.
You're right.
You split it up. You know, so instead of doing that, we're going to have a 2018 playoff. We're just going to completely dilute the sport. And this is the problem with I thought the idea that the Big Ten basically, I think, has had the dumbest ideas when it comes to the playoff. And this idea that we're going to have Iowa play Ohio State as a play-in game. I mean, who wants to see that? And you know, he was making the case that an 8-4 Iowa deserves to be in the playoff. Who agrees with that? What universe does last year's Iowa team, belong in the playoff? They don't. So, and that's the other thing. When you start playing these play-in games and 2018 playoff, Ohio State Texas is completely meaningless. It's meaningless. No, it has no stakes. So and Ryan Day made the point, and he's right. We want to still have these games. Okay, I agree with you. But do we care that much other than the gamblers if the game has absolutely zero meaning in terms of what happens the rest of your season? You know, when Ohio State and Texas played in 2005, the winner, is probably going to make the national championship. The loser wasn't. That was a massive game that we still talk about and remember. And if it's going forward, it's an exhibition, who's going to care?
No, I agree with you. And I think for the longest time I wanted Tony Petiti to talk, and now I don't want him to. And I don't think he represents – I mean, I continue to do this show in Columbus, so I continue to think that the more and more he talks, he's not representing Ohio State at all. And I don't think he's representing Penn State or Michigan, and he's not representing Oregon. I think he's worried about bottom line, and he's worried about rising up some of these middling programs in this league, and there's a lot of them. And that's what it's about. He's trying to get more money out of his television partners. That's why he floated that idea, the play-in games, which is just ridiculous on Championship Saturday to play, the 3 versus the 6, as you alluded to. So, no, he to me feels incredibly radical, and it feels like he also now I'm guessing the 24-28 is all, hey, this is how crazy we could make it. Can you just give us my 16 and give me my 4 automatic bids? That's my guess what this is probably about. And I think that's overkill too. I don't think the Big Ten needs to have auto bids. I think they're fine.
Mike Leach wanted a 64 team college football playoff. I remember that.
I miss him so much.
I don't understand what the Big Ten is doing. I understand we're playing an extra conference game, SEC, so we don't feel this is equitable, so we're not agreeing to anything. And Big 12 and ACC, we deserve to have more teams than you for obvious reasons. I get those points, but Iowa, Ohio State in December for a chance to make the playoff, I don't get that at all. And then, God forbid, Iowa beats Ohio State. It's all right, now we just knocked out our team that has the best chance to win the national championship. It's just, to me, it's lunacy, and it's trying to dance around the actual problem, which is we don't want to make this like the NFL because we don't want to have collective bargaining.
Yep.
But it's just you're there as a model for their right there for you to emulate. You're already heading in that direction, and instead of doing something incredibly dumb, just let's get to a point where there's a pie, we split it up.
Yep.
Between the schools, the coaches, and then the players. Let's have contracts so we don't have mass transfers every year, and let's have a coherent postseason where the best teams are in it and the ones that don't deserve to be are not.
Get you out of here on this one and agree with everything you just said there. What did you make of the Michigan penalties? And I'm using the word penalties very tongue in cheek.
Well, the show cause penalties were the tough ones on Stallion's 8-year, and Harbaugh was 8-year too, right?
10.
10, that's right. Yeah, he was 10. And Sharon, and I think Sharon got hammered mostly for deleting the messages on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not the crime itself; it's the cover up or it's the obstruction that can get you. I think it just goes to show that. We're in an era now where the NCAA is just not really going to – they're not going to do that much to you if you, in their view, cross the line. And I think the message that was sent was, you cross the line, certain people are going to pay. The school itself is going to have to pay some money. You might have some recruiting restrictions, but that banner is going to fly forever.
Yeah.
And the Michigan National Championship, no matter what you think about it, with the NCAA, investigation done, that banner is going to fly forever. They won the national championship, and you can put an asterisk by it or whatever if you're an Ohio State fan, but officially it doesn't have one. It's a legit national championship in the way that it's viewed, and I don't know that that's the right message, you want to send. But I also think, too, that was a tricky case. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that penalizing Bryce Underwood for things that happened before he got there is always fair.
No, I don't have a problem with that either. I just thought the fine should have been an actual fine instead of withholding of funds. I mean, Michigan is going to get more money from the Big Ten, even with these penalties, than Oregon and Washington are getting. That's a joke. I mean, that's
a great
crazy
point. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah. I mean, you really want it to have some teeth. Hey, good luck funding your team with, not much money.
Yeah, that would have been a penalty. This is nothing. It's nothing. All right, buddy. We got week 1 next week. Going to be fun. Looking forward to it. We'll talk to you then.
All right. Sounds good, Bo. See ya.
All right, there he goes. Jake Troder, senior college football reporter at ESPN, joining us on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll hit a little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Hey, Ohio State fans. While others cut corners, like that team up north, Valvoline Instant Oil Change is Buckeye-level quality. We train hard and treat every day like game day. We're always quick, but never rushed. And you can stay in your car while our experts do the work. Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit Valvoline.com/Buckeyes to find your nearest location and access exclusive fan savings.
It's Wilson from That Other Window Place, and this is the Secrets of Pella podcast. Secrets of Pella. Where we try to expose Pella Windows secrets. Okay, Leslie from Pella, these magical disappearing screens you speak of, what exactly is Pella hiding?
Well, hiding the screens is the whole point.
All right, cut. The screen just disappears? There's no magic involved? Okay.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days, deferred payment, interest accrued at the time of inception with approved credit, expires 8/31.
Common Man here. Our friends at Care Heating and Cooling in Lenox are feeling the love. They're doing something extraordinary for Central Ohio families. The Lenox Feel the Love program provides deserving families and individuals with indoor heating and cooling equipment as well as installation at no cost. You can nominate someone who you think is deserving at feelthelove.com. Nominations will be accepted through August 31st. Let's give back to our hometown heroes. Selfless neighbor, maybe who always puts everybody first. Community leaders like teachers, firefighters, and volunteers, or just families facing hard times. Whoever you think is worthy, send a nomination. As of 2024, the Feel the Love program has completed more than 350 installations with help of dealers like Care Heating and Cooling. Our friends at Lenox donate all the equipment, and Care donates the labor and materials, and the installs are done at no cost. Remember, the deadline is August 31st. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Cheetah Green with Skip Mosick.
Saturday, SI.com's Bob Herrig joins us from the BMW, plus Joe Murray of the Western Golf Association on the Evan Scholars Foundation.
Cheetah Green with Skip Mosick. Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better. You've earned it.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The friends are the guests and listeners. Reeser and Baker just work here.
Back to work. Back to work. Everybody, work, 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 work.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a first Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
On Tuesday, Zach Werenski was named one of 44 U.S.-born NHLers invited to Team USA's Olympic hockey orientation. The orientation session will be held August 26th through the 27th in Plymouth, Michigan. It'll be mostly an administrative team-building event. There won't be any official on-ice activity. USA Hockey says players don't have to attend the orientation session in order to make the final 25-person roster. The team is expected to be announced in early January. The men's hockey tournament's going to run from February 6th through the 22nd, 2026, as the NHL returns to the Olympics for the first time since 2014. A thing or not a thing?
I'm going to say not a thing because, of course, he was. I mean, is he the best American-born defenseman on the planet? He's in the conversation, right? I mean, who else, Bake? You know where they're from more than me, but McCarr's a Canadian.
Quinn Hughes is probably generally the one that some would say is better than Zach, but he's short right list, there in the conversation, yeah.
Yeah, very short list. So I love the Olympic hockey tournament. I think it's spectacular. Where are the Olympics? In the winter.
It's Milan, isn't it? Or Catania, Italy, something like that.
So then it will be, the games will be on midday for us?
I believe that's right.
Take place. So that's pretty good. Yeah. No, this is awesome. I love Olympic hockey. He's going to make the team. I think he's got an outside shot at being in the mix for like captain or associate captain, something like that. I think all that's in play for him.
Yeah, Bo, this isn't a thing because barring injury, it's the only way Zach Werenski isn't on Team USA in 2026. And let's all knock on wood and hope and pray that that's not the case. So yeah, this is just an expected thing. Like, Zach is on that roster now, and you're right, he could be in the mix for a leadership role.
Yeah.
Speaking at the Nick Saban Legacy Awards in Birmingham, Alabama Monday, Alabama Jones addressed comments made by former Bama quarterback Greg McElroy, who said on his radio show in Birmingham back in July he heard from a source that Saban wasn't done coaching. From the Tuscaloosa for, quote, "I don't know where that came from. Greg McElroy played quarterback for us. If he had done something like that when he was a player, he would have gotten his blank kicked." Saban also said that he and his wife, Terry, don't have any regrets about the decision to step away from football. Quote, "I've been a part of a team since I was 9 years old playing Little League Baseball. I just had a tremendous fear that I would miss it. That part I miss. But the working 14 hours per day, the recruiting, the changes that we're going through in college football, the challenges that were presented was a little much at my age the last year I coached." End quote. Thing or not a thing?
Yeah, I think sometimes you have to be careful in this business, and maybe Greg McElroy learned that a little bit. Sometimes I think we forget how big of a voice we have and how many people listen. And he's probably around Birmingham, and somebody said, "Hey, I heard Coach might not be done. Maybe the right offer, who knows?" And maybe it was somebody who wasn't even that connected to Sabin, and then Greg put it out on his show, and the next thing you know, it's a house of fire. And Sabin just threw water on it. And so, no, I think he's done. I don't know why he would ever want to get back in this. Now, I will say this. Do I think that if the right scenario presented itself, he'd want to coach in the NFL? Yeah. Yeah. I think he could be interested in that. Like, do I think you just find a spot where you got a good young quarterback and he could paratroop in and win, I think he'd be interested in that.
And that's the thing, because Greg McElroy just said coaching.
Yeah.
Nick Saban, all of his comments tend to think he's talking about college coaching.
Yeah.
Listen, these guys coaching and being around a team, it's just in their blood. Do I think Saban is done coaching? Yeah, I do. Would I be surprised if he showed up next year when the New Orleans Saints fire their head coach? And they probably won't fire Kellen Moore yet, but when one of these teams fires their head coach because they underperformed this year, if Nick Saban shows up at an NFL training camp next year, I wouldn't be surprised.
No. That by the way, Shane Gillis dropping Alabama Jones on him on a live television show that quick is one of the funniest one-liners I've ever heard in real time. I mean, he was on it. That was well done.
After Colts practice yesterday, three-time All-Pro guard Quentin Nelson expressed some frustrations with the constant revolving door at quarterback in Indianapolis.
I would say so. I think I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. You look around the league and see just like the consistency of having like Patrick Mahomes or like a quarterback behind you that's like been the franchise player for years and years and years, and getting to build that chemistry with that quarterback year after year is something that there is an advantage to when it comes to O-line play. So to answer your question, yeah.
Thing or not a thing?
Listen, dude, you guys had Manning and Luck. I'm not going to be worried about your tears, okay? They had Manning and Luck. So, like, that franchise, he just answered a question. It's not a shot at him. But, like, if you have it that good for that long, you're deserved to go on the quarterback carousel and trying to find one. I did think something that was interesting was Anthony Richardson's agent saying that there's no trust between him and the staff and all of that. So, obviously, he's going to be moved at some point, and I'll be curious to see where he lands and if there's a reclamation project for him that hits, because I think it's an uphill battle to say the least, but he does have a ton of talent.
I think this is a thing because it shows just how hard it can be to find that guy at quarterback. Like, they went from Manning to Andrew Luck, and they thought they were set, and then Luck retires, and they've thrown out Curtis Painter. They've thrown out an aging Phillip Rivers. They had Anthony Richardson. I mean, it is just been a revolving door for them at the quarterback spot as they try to get it right. And that's why they end up drafting a guy like Anthony Richardson, number 4, when he probably shouldn't have been drafted there. He had all the physical ability, right, and the arm talent and the arm strength, but as a guy that just hadn't played a lot of football, he needs time to learn football and get reps, and he's one of those guys that would be perfect to go to the UFL. Yes. And play some meaningful football, get some snaps, and be taught how to play quarterback, because you can't be taught how to play quarterback while you're a starting quarterback in the league.
He should be the starting quarterback for the Columbus Potholes of the UFL next season.
The Potholes, huh?
That's what this league. That's what that league
go.
means. Pay attention to the scores. That's what I'm hearing. A lot of momentum for Potholes. I'm going to test my Greg McElroy theory.
There should not be momentum towards potholes.
No, in fact, avoid at all cost. No, but you're exactly right. That's what developmental quarterbacks need to play games, and that's the type of thing where the NFL needs to come with an agreement with the UFL, so guys like him can play 15 games, 10 games in the spring, and get them under their belt. Speaking of the NFL, we continue in two-a-days. We're in the AFC East now. The Dolphins and the Patriots, Mike Vrabel's Pats. How's it going for Travion Henderson among the conversations we'll have coming up in the final hour? Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
And we're back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum, and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a lease, you get it Wi-Fi.
Yes,
immediately.
We need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
The trash talk, the bad trade requests, the horrible reaches on draft picks. It's fantasy football time, and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus is giving you a chance to hold your fantasy draft in a fantasy location. On August 24th, host your fantasy draft party at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook, which will include a $100 dining credit, draft board, and swag. Visit 971thefan.com and sign up for your fantasy draft party package. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER for help.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth, or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient, and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or 2 half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The dog days are the best days to save at Coughlin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Get 0% financing on any new Kia EV, Sportage, or Sorrento, or 1.9% on a new 25 Seltos or K5. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
Based on January to December 2024 retail sales at all 4 locations. 0% for 48 months equals $20.83 per 1,000 finance. 1.9% for 48 months equals $21.65 per 1,000 finance. All manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Dealer financing required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 9/2/25.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The Redlegs are rolling and look to push their win streak to 4 with a win tonight over the LA Angels. First pitch is 9:38. We'll have that game on the Fan. Cincinnati beat Anaheim last night 6-4. Hunter Green struck out a dozen in 6 1/3. Reds enter Wednesday's series finale, one game back of the Mets for the final NL wildcard spot. As for the Guardians, Cleveland fell in Arizona 6-5. Diamondbacks will host the series rubber match today at 3:40. In the minors, the Clippers host the Omaha Storm Chasers at Huntington Park tonight at 6:15. In golf, Scotty Scheffler is the favorite to defend and win the PGA Tour Championship. That starts tomorrow out at East Lake in Atlanta. The world's #1 golfer is paired with Rory McIlroy and will tee off tomorrow around 2 o'clock. This update is sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. Tickets, sideline passes, trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Register today at roosterswings.com.
The final season of Yellowstone might just be Bo's dad live on YouTube. What's the difference anyway? This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a First Friday. Get your officially endorsed and 3 things coming up at the end. We are in 2-a-days. We have matriculated to the NFC East. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present 2-a-days. Our preseason look around the league.
Let's start in South Florida and the Miami Dolphins. Big year for them. Big year for the coaching staff. Big year for the quarterback. They're 8-9 last year. They had this roster that they trotted out a couple of years ago with a healthy Tyreek Hill and a healthy Jalen Waddle, and they went for it. They went for it about as big as you could in terms of what they did with the roster, and felt like they were ready to contend, and it just never really happened. And so now they're kind of a step beyond that. And in the meantime, in their own division, you have Buffalo, who we'll get to tomorrow, who's clearly the cream of the crop and is clearly a Super Bowl contender. And you have this New England team, which we're going to talk about in about 15 minutes or so, a little less than, that has Drake May and has the coach. And it feels to me a little bit like Miami just got left in the dust. This is it's a really important franchise for this sport. They are beloved in South Florida. A big mistake was made when they moved out, and this is 30 years ago, when they moved out to then Joe Robbie Stadium, away from for the Orange Bowl. The Orange Bowl location was always the perfect stadium location for them. They moved north. They went up to where they are now, which I think is Hollywood Gardens, I think. So they're up in there, and they've done a lot to try to make it tenable. But for their early season games, a lot of times you just bake in the dang sun. And I'll never forget, we went down there for Ohio State Miami, and it was the Sunday of the Dolphins home opener. and there were a ton of empty seats, and people were all critical because the Dolphins had empty seats. Well, we took the sports department. We went out. I showed everybody like South Beach and all of that. There were, rough estimation, 250,000 people on the beach on Sunday at noon. They have other things to do, but they are beloved. They're the most important team down there by a decent margin. And it's a place everybody wants to play and everybody wants to be a part of, and somehow they have not gotten there. And they've had good drafts, they've had great players, they had the Marino era, and they just haven't been able to get to that point. And so they're kind of been, in a little bit of ways, guys, kind of like a road to nowhere franchise for a long time. I mean, it's 30 years of this kind of.
Bo, you talk about they're a beloved franchise. So back in high school, I worked at Damon's and was kind of in charge for a few seasons of picking what games we were putting on the screens and where. And we had to have the Dolphins every week on the TV because there were so many people that came in to watch Dolphins games. And there are like Dolphins backers groups all over this country, maybe more than some other NFL teams. They have a great fan base.
Yes, they do.
Year 4 for Mike McDaniel, and I don't know if that 2023 playoff game where it was minus 20 against the Buffalo Bills, if that's something they'll ever be able to get over. I mean, their lone Pro Bowler from last season, Jonnu Smith, is now on the Pittsburgh Steelers, so they bring Darren Waller out of retirement?
Yeah.
And that should, I mean, Matthew Judon is another free agent that they just got earlier in the week. I don't know. Look at this team's schedule. I mean, they play at the Bernabeu. To our point earlier, they got the Washington Commanders in that contest, but I'm just doing the quick schedule game, and I'm struggling to find 7 wins.
No, I'm kind of with you. And I mean, Tua Tagovailoa is in year 6 for them. It's been kind of a mixed bag. He obviously always deals with the concussion stuff, which is terrifying. And the way that he suffers concussions makes you, quite honestly, very uncomfortable. He's pretty good when he plays. He is when he plays. I mean, he's 38-24 as a starter. Their records in games he started since his rookie year: 6-3, 7-5, 8-5, 11-6, 6-5. He's really accurate. There's some limitations with his arm, but he certainly is plenty good enough. But it just feels to me like the window was open and it closed on them, and now they're kind of in a little bit of a transition phase. And to me, this looks like a team that I'm with you, Reese. I think 7 seems almost like a stretch to get there based on schedule, and I think New England's going to be much improved. I think, honestly, the Jets will be a little better than they were a year ago as well. All right, let's hit the categories on the Dolphins. Fantasy sleeper on Miami, Vic.
To me, it's Ollie Gordon, the guy they drafted out of Oklahoma State, the running back. He was, I think his junior season, maybe the best running back in all of college football, and then he had some issues off the field, and it didn't work for him. Oklahoma State was a disaster last year. But it sounds like he's been producing here in the preseason and at Dolphins camp, and I like Devon Achane a lot, but he gets hurt a lot as well, and they've been kind of a 2-back system there while Mike McDonald has been there as head coach. So I think there's some big upside in Ollie Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, their running back room, you could probably pick one of the 3, Jalen Wright or Devon Achane, because they're going to do a lot of I don't like the way this team's going, and I think if you're in a PPR league especially, just grabbing one of those running backs, because that's what I think they're going to have to resort to.
Yeah, I don't like this squad. I like your pick of Ollie Gordon. I think that's a very smart pick. It was weird how he fell off a cliff last year at Oklahoma State because they were going to kind of be built around him, and it all went to hell. But, yeah, there's not a whole lot here. Do they have the right quarterback? This is a tough one. Go ahead, Bake. Where are you with Tua?
Right-ish.
Yeah.
Like, he's just, I think, a middle-of-the-road guy. And here's the other thing with him, and I know everybody in the NFL is one hit away, but he's literally one hit away from being done in his career, right? With all the concussions he's had and everything. I like Tua. I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't know if he's a guy that can get you over the hump. I do know if you don't have him and you pick wrong on his replacement, you're going to wish you had him back.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not sure how much longer this current incarnation of the Miami Dolphins is going to be around. I mean, Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers, the other 2 quarterbacks in the room.
What a room, huh?
They lose Tua, it's done.
Isn't that crazy? Like Zach Wilson, number 2 pick in the draft. 2 years ago, you would have said Quinn Ewers would have been a number 1 pick in the draft. They got them both behind him. It seems like Quinn's having a pretty good camp. I don't know how you could just because of the concussion stuff. It's very disturbing watching him be concussed. It's tough. It's a very tough watch. And I just don't know how much longer that he can do it. I don't know how smart it is for him to continue to do it, but it's his body, so God bless him. But I think probably not, that they don't. This feels to me like they're just ready to flip this thing over and kind of rebuild it. Coolest player ever to play for the Miami Dolphins, Bake.
So I think both of these we're doing today, there's only one correct answer, but I'm going to go away from that here. I loved watching Zach Thomas play middle linebacker. He was an undersized dude, but just the toughest dude ever. Kind of reminded you a lot of Spiels in the way he played, just hard-nosed, hand in the dirt, get in your face type of guy. I loved Zach Thomas.
It's Dan Marino. You just growing up, there were a handful of quarterbacks who were just cooler than everything else. He was one of them.
Did he finally? Okay, yeah. Zach Thomas finally got into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, it took way too long. He was a 5-time first-team All-Pro, a 2-time second-team All-Pro. It took way too long for him to get in the Hall of Fame. Look, it's Dan Marino. Dan Marino sold isotoner gloves to men in the 80s. Do you know how cool you have to be to sell isotoner gloves to men?
And was in Ace Ventura.
He was in Ace Ventura. Yeah, it's Marino. That's the guy. What is this team this year, Bake?
So it sounds like I'm a little higher on them than you guys. I still have them right in the vicinity of last year as 8-9 or 9-8. I think they're explosive enough on offense still with Tua and those 2 receivers, and they've got some good running backs. I also think on the defensive side of the ball, they're pretty deep on the D-line. They've got some pass rushers. Reese mentioned Matthew Judon. They also have Chop Robinson and Bradley Chubb there. Jalen Phillips as a linebacker off the edge, too. So I think that they're going to be able to get after the passer enough, and Minkah Fitzpatrick in that secondary can force some turnovers, that they can make some big enough plays on defense to win some shootout-type games. So I've got them about the same as last year.
Yeah, when you started talking, I was wondering, has he been ingesting some of that skunk? This team's 6-11 at best.
I'm closer to you than I am Bake. I just think the other teams this division are going to make a little bit of a pop, too, so I think they'll suffer from that. It's interesting because it was such a promising time with Mike McDaniel. I love his press conferences, but it feels like they had a window where they could be contenders, and they kind of missed it. Franchise grade on the Dolphins, Bake.
I just got it as a C. They're just an average franchise.
Yeah.
Same.
I think it's slightly better. I think they're a B-. I do think that they are. It's a little bit like. It's a little bit like the Bears. It feels like they should have been better a lot. And I don't know why that they haven't been, because people love to live there. People love to play there. Why have they not had more sustained success than they've had through the years? It's a wild one, but I think there's a loyal fan base. It's still a glamorous team. I think if the right people were running it, you could be back in a hurry. So I'll go B- on Miami on that side of things. We'll do the Patriots coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save big on everything for your appliance upgrade when you shop at Menards. You need reliable and energy-efficient appliances to conquer the day. Menards is your one-stop shop with the largest in-stock appliance selection ready to take home today. Check out our top appliance brands including KitchenAid, Whirlpool, Maytag, Amana, and Criterion. Save big money on all appliances at Menards and check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards. At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport, now open at Polaris Fashion Place.
Looking for bold flavors and award-winning spirits? High Bank Distillery is your destination for handcrafted cocktails, locally inspired dishes, and Whiskey War, the nationally recognized whiskey. Stop by their Grandview, Gahanna, and Westerville locations this week. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. It's the last month for the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. That means you get special APRs with 3.99% up to 60 months on their most popular models. Lease payments as low as $419 per month. Also, plenty of pre-owned L-certified vehicles are on the lot with rates as low as 5.75% for up to 27 months. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton. Check them out online, JermaineLexus.com.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Hello, big voice guy here. I've been hired to tell you all about the Fans YouTube channel. Did you know you can immerse yourself in Buckeye goodness like Austin and Berm's daily podcast, The Beat? Yes, sirree, Bob. Subscribe today.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
Proper tree care is an investment that can lead to increased personal enjoyment. Prevent winter tree damage by scheduling winter tree work now. Winter can be tough on trees. Heavy snow, ice, and wind can cause serious damage. Don't wait until it's too late. Now is the perfect time to schedule winter tree work. Pruning during the dormant season keeps your trees healthy and helps prevent costly storm damage. Visit trees4ohio.org to find a qualified arborist near you. That's trees4ohio.org. Let's keep your trees strong all winter long.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Could see a stray shower or 2 out there. Most of us, though, remain dry with a mix of sun and clouds today and cooler with our afternoon highs getting into the upper 70s. For tonight, partly cloudy with lows into the upper 60s. And then for Thursday, we'll see skies partly sunny with our highs getting right around 80 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Well, we're here, kids. The Fan High School Football Game of the Week is back. It's Friday. We kick off the season in a big way. Big Walnut taking on Watterson. Coverage starts at 6:30. Kickoff at 7. After the game, it's Byers, Dublin, Subaru overtime with Bake and Lee Cochran. High school football is back on the Fan. Who's hosting here, Bake?
So Watterson is hosting. They play their home games, though, at Ohio Dominican.
Okay. All right. There you go. And then you said that's a monster. Those might be the 2 best teams in Central Ohio, you think?
Yeah, 2 of for sure. Like I said, Watterson defending Division III state champ, Big Walnut Division II state semifinalist, and both of them bring just about everyone back.
That's awesome. That's a monster game in Week 1. So look forward to that. It is here, kids, Week 1 of high school football. All right, let's continue with 2-a-days. We are in the AFC East. We are with the New England Patriots, who went 4-13 a year ago. But they drafted the right quarterback, at least in the eyes of Mike Vrabel, they did. Vrabel spent last year in Cleveland. He was basically kind of an internship is kind of what it was. Like, he would weigh in with front office with Andrew Berry. He did a lot of stuff with Kevin Stefanski on the football side of things. There were times where he would do some scout team stuff. I mean, he would do everything. So he took kind of a year away and worked for his hometown team, and you knew it would take the perfect spot for him to come home to, and that perfect spot was New England, in part because he was a legendary player there, and also in part because of Drake May. And that's really what this season is about for New England. It's about Drake May. They were patient with him last year. Everything you're hearing out of Patriots camp is he looks like an absolute dude. We'll see. Obviously, Mike believed in it enough, because Mike could have had any job that was open last year, and this is the one that he took. And it wasn't just heartstrings that pulled him there. It was Drake May. They have been wayward since Tom Brady left, and it's been an awkward several years here as Belichick kind of got to play his way out of it and eventually was replaced, and they've been trying to find their way, and it appears that they have with Vrabel and May. I think this team will be massively improved because I think Mike's a hell of a coach. I think he's one of the best coaches in the game. I don't know if I'm ready to say that they're a playoff contender yet or anything like that, but they will be better than 4-13. I assure you of that.
Yeah, you could talk me into 7-8 wins out of this squad this year. This is the bridge year, I think, where you get Mike Vrabel coming in, love for the quarterback. They added some talent around him. How could you not enjoy the Travion Henderson pick and then what he's done in the preseason? Just from an overall weapon standpoint, but they've got to go, the New England Patriots do, through the AFC East, which, the Buffalo Bills, the Jets could be improved. I think the roster for both the Patriots and the Dolphins is similar. Not great. Good. So those will be two games. And then they've got the AFC North.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough, especially New England looking at a Week 14 bye. And then the final 4 games for this Patriots season: Bills, Ravens, Jets, Dolphins.
So I think Vrabes is worth 2 or 3 wins here.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't love this roster. Like, if we put it up against Miami, I think Miami has better playmakers on both sides of the ball.
I agree.
Quite frankly. Drake May might be okay. I don't know who he's throwing the ball to outside of Stephon Diggs and maybe the tight ends and Travion Henderson. There's nobody else on this team as a wide receiver. I love their pick of Will Campbell. I love the moxie that guy has. And I love people when he would shoot back at them about doubting his arm size and all of this stuff. I love the moxie. I think he's a guy that could probably protect Drake May's backside as long as May is there. I'm not sure. I love Vrabes. He can only do so much here, though.
Yeah, I think Reese tabbed it right. They're a year away from, and I'm not talking about year away being a Super Bowl. They're a year away from being serious. They need to have another really good draft. Honestly, like that exercise they did with you guys on the Browns, if you could find a way to win 5 or 6 games, but it looks right, and May has a good year, and you're picking in the top 10, top 5 or 6, and you can draft a big-time playmaker at receiver, now we're talking. I mean, that's, to me, you're that away. Because I think their offensive line is going to be much improved. Campbell's a stud. Their running back room is really nice. I think Trey's going to be a stud there. Defensively, they're going to be fine. They just need some more weapons, and they just need another draft to be able to do that. That's kind of where they're at. All right, categories on the Patriots. Fantasy sleeper, Bake.
So I just talked about how I don't like this wide receiver room at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there could be room here for 2 tight ends. Hunter Henry, obviously the main guy. Our old friend Austin Hooper.
Yeah.
I think there's still some there in the tank with him. I think Austin Hooper might be a good guy at the tight end position.
As someone who doesn't play fantasy football, is Travion Henderson a sleeper?
I think a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would be mine. So I think he's going to be relied upon a lot, Reese. I think you're going to see him out of the backfield. I think he was returning kicks for them in the preseason. You don't get fantasy for that, but unless he takes it to the barn.
His first preseason touch.
Yeah.
The first time a Patriots player put hands on a football.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to have a big year. I think he's going to get a lot of touches for them because they just don't have weaponry the way that they need to for a team with a young quarterback who's trying to find their way. So, yeah, I think Travion's a good answer to that.
Drake May will fall in love with him. When
Yes,
a play breaks down, let's just dump it to Trey.
Yep, you can see that coming. Do they have the right quarterback, Bake?
I'm not sure. I've seen some good from Drake May, but jury's still out. Like, he's one guy I literally have no feeling towards if he's good or bad. I just don't know.
I'm with you on that, Baker, but Mike Vrabel, I think, would say yes. And that's kind of all that matters right now.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going. I think Vrabel could have had any job in the country that had an NFL head coaching offering. He was the number one choice for everybody, and he chose to go to New England, and that just wasn't about nostalgia. Mike's not big on nostalgia. It was because he believed in the quarterback. And if Mike Vrabel believes on that quarterback, then I have to believe in the quarterback as well. So I think they must have the right QB. In Vrabes, I trust on that one. Coolest player ever for New England, Bake.
So again, there's only one right answer here. Part of me wants to say Rob Gronkowski, though, just to see your head explode here.
You might not be wrong
on the camera. I'm going to go with Rob's podcast co-host, though. Julian Edelman, undersized receiver, tough as nails, was a quarterback at Kent State and turned into an all-pro wide receiver. That's a heck of a dude.
The idea that Randy Moss was on this Patriots squad was so cool. I can't
believe they didn't win it.
That was the best. That's the best regular season and one of the best runs in history.
I think they can't believe they didn't win it.
Yeah.
I don't even think the Giants can believe they didn't win it.
That's the best team I've ever seen in the NFL. Was that Patriots team when Randy was there and Tom threw for 5,000 yards and all of that, and the fact that they were undefeated and lost to the Super Bowl to that Giants team is utterly impossible to wrap your head around. It really is. It's Brady, though. It's obviously Brady. That's what Bake was referring to. The guy, during the middle of his playing career, started dating the most famous supermodel on the planet, and then he married her. It's him. He's the right one, obviously, on that, and he's the best quarterback in the history of the league. What is this Patriots team this year? I think I'm higher on them than maybe you guys are. Go ahead, Big.
So I do think they will be improved this year. I think Mike Vrabel will squeeze every bit he can out of this group, and I think every bit he can is 7-10.
I was just about to say, a major improvement's 4-7. That's going to be what this year is, I think, for the Patriots. 7-10.
Yeah, I don't think they're there yet. I could see them being frisky down the stretch, and I think they'll be hovering around that 500 for much of the season, and then maybe it just becomes too much at the end. I think 7-10 is right there too, 6-11, something like that. But I do think Mike's belief in Drake May says a lot to me, so I think you're headed in the right direction in New England. Go ahead.
This just screams like the Patriots are going to win 7-8 games, and 4 or 5 of those are going to be by a field goal.
Yeah. He's just so good, man. Like, he just reaches players. He's so good. I think his impact will be pretty legit. Franchise grade for New England, Bake.
So to me, in my lifetime, there have been 2 model franchises in the NFL. One were the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the other was the New England Patriots. I know that's easy to do when you get Brady and you get Belichick, but to me, they're an A. It may change here. It wasn't always that, and it may change soon, but to me, they're still an A.
Yeah, it's an A.
It is an A, and it's pretty wild because for most of their existence, not most of their existence because we've all gotten old, but in the early years of the Patriots, they were a laughingstock franchise. When they were most famous when I was a kid for getting the doors blown off them by the 85 Bears in one of the most lopsided Super Bowls ever. And then it flipped, and it really started with Bob Kraft's ownership, and then it was the hiring of Bill Parcells and the drafting of Drew Bledsoe, and they became respectable and played in a Super Bowl again with those guys and losing to the Packers. And then it just was a rocket ship with falling into Tom Brady. And that's what they did. They didn't think Tom Brady was Tom Brady. They fell into him. And the rest is history. And now you're talking about 6 Super Bowls and all this other stuff. And it's really hard to wrap your head around how great they've been. But the one thing you know about the Kraft family is they will do whatever is necessary to win. And, yeah, I think they are a model franchise. I think they're an A, absolutely. Mike Diabate covers the Pats for Sports Illustrated. He joins us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh, my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Cash for Clunkers continues during the Honda Summer Event at Lindsay Honda.
Listen up, Columbus. Cash for Clunkers is big money towards your next ride.
Up to $3,500 minimum for your trade.
Use it for the down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash.
Lease a new 2025 HR-V two-wheel drive LX or 2026 Civic four-door LX for just $299 a month. Zero cash down. Just bring us your clunker. Shop Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store now. For details, visit lindsayhonda.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, let's get some perspective on the New England Patriots and the AFC East. Mike Diabate joining us, covers the Pats at SI. Okay, so Mike Vrabel comes in. Mike, thank you so much for taking the time, by the way. We know Mike very well around here, and it felt like he had his choice of jobs, and this was the place he gets to go home to. What has been the biggest difference with having Vrabel here versus previous incarnations of the Patriots?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. I appreciate that, and it's always an honor to join you here on the microphone, so thank you for having me this morning. But as for the vibe in New England, yeah, there's an excitement here that I haven't really felt in the last few years here in New England, and that includes the last few years under Bill Belichick. You know, there was a certain erosion of enthusiasm after Tom Brady left, and I think finality started to set in with the Patriots fans that this was not going to be the dynasty era anymore. They were going to have to essentially be a team that, is in the mix, potentially every year, but wasn't going to have the same type of dominance they had in years past. But the excitement that Mike Vrabel has brought to this team is different than saying, oh, here we go, the glory days are back, let's start printing the Super Bowl tickets. I think it's a notion of competitive nature. I think it's a notion of knowing that this team is always going to be in the mix and that this team is properly coached and properly led by the right guy at the helm. And I think Mike has exuded that since the moment he first took the podium here and addressed us all in the media and said, this is how I'm going to run this team. I want aggression on the football field. I want aggression in the classrooms. I want, everyone to constantly be striving to be better. That's the way he coaches on the field. And his personality has really melded well with the players, not only that were here in New England, but also the players that he's brought in via free agency and the draft. There's a very good mix right now, and they're all excited to be coached by Mike Vrabel. And I think that's really been the biggest difference that I've seen the last couple of years.
One thing, so I was around Mike a lot last year when he was with the Browns, and he was kind of dipping his toe in everything, front office, coaching, all of it, would jump in on scout team, like all of those things. But one thing that became abundantly clear is he was not going to go anywhere unless they had a promising young quarterback. Like, he did not want to be in a world where he was looking for that again. And so that, to me, speaks volumes about Drake May. If Mike was that impressed with him, that speaks volumes about May. What have you seen from May? And is he ready to kind of burst on the scene the way that some think?
I believe he is. There are always going to be rookie and sophomore jitters that certain quarterbacks are going to have. And you're seeing that with Drake during the offseason and during the preseason and during training camp. It's not always perfect. There are times where that mentality that he had in North Carolina, where I have to take the game completely in my hands, try to take it over, force a play, and sometimes it doesn't have the best result. Those are going to happen. But the one thing that I've seen this year with Drake that I didn't see last year was an accountability, an immediate accountability to know that I did something wrong according to the pro level aura that a quarterback should exude. I'm going to go right over to my offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels. I'm going to go right over to my head coach and Mike Vrabel, and I'm going to find out what their thoughts were. Why didn't that work the way I wanted it to work? There's an immediate accountability with Drake, and it's brought a maturity in his game that I think is really going to start showing once the regular season becomes, in full swing, and once we start getting a couple of games under our belt. Kid's got a tremendous arm. He's a very gifted athlete. He can make things happen without the ball. He can make things happen with the ball in his hands, using his legs. And when I say without the ball, he's been known to throw a block or two in there, and he's not afraid to get in there and mix it up. So that's what I mean by that. But I really think that there is a pro-level skill set in this kid that I really believe is going to show, and it's going to show quicker than people probably think, and he's under the right tutelage this year to bring it out of him.
I think people forget. I mean, you're talking about 12 starts last year, so he got more than his feet wet last year and kind of showed some of the things that he's capable of. In terms of the weapons around him, this is where this kind of, to me, feels like, and you can correct me where I'm wrong here, to me this feels like the season before the season, because I just don't see enough that scares me for them weapon-wise. We love Travion Henderson around here, and I think you guys are going to love him too. But beyond that, is there enough weaponry to contend for playoffs, or is that too much too soon right now to be talking like that?
I know Patriots fans are probably not going to like my answer to this question, but I do think it's a little premature to start thinking about playoff contention. But the one thing I will tell you, Bo, this Patriots team is going to make each and every game difficult. I don't see this team getting blown out a whole lot. Every team has a game where they come in and just nothing goes right and things just come off the rails, and that's probably likely to happen at some point throughout the season. But last year, I noticed a lot of Patriots fans, the feedback that I would get either on my podcast or from my writing or fans DMing me on social media, I really hope they don't get blown out this week, Mike. You think we may have a shot not to get blown out? I don't think you're going to see that with this team this year because they believe that they can hang with everyone, including on the offensive side of the ball. Now, do they have enough to be a top-level offense? Probably not yet. Travion has star written all over him. That is explosive speed, the ability to start and stop. This kid is one of the best running back blockers I've seen in a long time. And not only that, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. So I am absolutely huge man crush on Travion Henderson. But beyond that, Stephon Diggs, probably a step slower, but still someone you have to account for every single time the ball is snapped. He can still make things happen, and he's proved that in training camp with some of the one-on-one drills I've watched him run. Guys like DeMario Douglas, guys like Efton Chisholm III, who is an undrafted rookie here in New England, making an awful lot of waves, and a lot of people are really kind of rallying around this kid. These are the guys that have kind of stepped up during training camp and really let you believe that, you know what, maybe not this season, but in another couple of years, when these guys start to pop and really have a chemistry with Drake May, this offense can really start moving the football. So they're clearly set up the right way, but I think they're going to need a year to really come together and prove what they can do.
What will the identity of this team be this year if they are to be in that playoff mix? What does the game script need to look like? What style do they need to play at?
Well, I think they need to start off by establishing the run right away. Mike Vrabel loves to do that. He's a big proponent of that. And that's what Josh McDaniels essentially loves to do. Use the run to facilitate play action, get Drake May in a situation where he's going to be able to either dictate whether he wants to take shots down the field or use the intermediate areas of the field. And I think in Drake's case, usually it's either been feast or famine. I'm either going to run with the ball or I'm going to throw it down the field and I'm going to hit my target. I think Josh McDaniels brings a more temperate approach to what he's able to do, and that's why I think you're going to see him utilize maybe the two tight end sets this year with Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper, maybe someone like a Mac Hollins, who is a veteran journeyman receiver, but sure hands, uses the intermediate area of the field very well. I think that's how the Patriots are going to be able to win offensively. On the defensive side of the ball, they're going to come out swinging. This is a Patriots team that would bend and don't break for years up here in New England, and that's what they were used to, that two-gapping style under Bill Belichick where we'll take your best shot, and then when it comes time to get into the red zone, that's where we're really going to put our heels in. this team's going to get aggressive. They're going to go after you. They're an uphill team. They're going to want to get after the passer. I expect them to carry a lot of edge rush talent on this roster this year, maybe heavier than they ever have because of that. Mike loves to rotate those guys and keep them fresh and keep fresh legs always after the quarterback. So I think a smash mouth style on defense and I think a more temperate style on offense is what you can expect the Patriots to do this year. And if they're playing that game well on both sides, they're going to be in the mix to win it.
Mike, give me your pecking order kind of in the East this year. How do you see this thing finishing?
Well, the Buffalo Bills are still the class of that division, and they will be until someone unseats them. I don't see either the Patriots, the Dolphins, or the Jets right now with enough firepower to unseat Josh Allen in the way that team plays, especially on both sides and that defense as well. So I still think Buffalo is the team to beat in the AFC East. But when you look at the rest of the division, I don't see a team right now that kind of emerges from the rest as saying, okay, well, they're the clear-cut number two. There's no doubt about that. The Jets have the talent to do it on both sides of the ball. Can they get the quarterback play from Justin Fields to be able to do it? If they can, yeah, they might be in the mix to be that second team. Miami is always explosive. A Mike McDaniel offense can do things that other teams have never seen before, but we're starting to see the bloom come off the rose a little bit. Is he getting figured out, or are other teams just catching up? Miami right now has got something to prove on both sides of the ball. And then you've got the Patriots, who have been the cellar dwellers the last couple of years. I don't think this is a cellar-dwelling team. Again, like I said, they've upgraded tremendously on defense. I think they've done enough on offense to keep things competitive. So right now, I would say in the pecking order, it's kind of an up-in-the-air shoot. What the hell? I'll cater to my fan base. I'll say New England finishes second in this division. I think they take advantage of some of the chaos with the Jets and with the Dolphins. You can kind of play a coin flip at the end of that road, but I think New England can surprise some people this year, and they've got the flexibility and the leniency in their schedule. I tried to put that as diplomatic as I could, but that schedule is very well put to how they can play the game. So they may benefit from that.
Mike, I'll get you out of here on this one. I got about 30 seconds. How do you think Bill will do in North Carolina?
I think X's and O-wise, I think Bill will do very well. He's a student of the game and loves teaching football. And if you've seen any of the footage of him out there on the field, that's where he loves to be. That's where he wants to be. If Bill's going to run into any problems in the collegiate game, it's going to be the stuff away from the field. It's going to be NIL. It's going to be transfer portals. It's going to be distractions away from the field. And again, I'm being diplomatic here because it's a family show.
Sure.
But I think in a lot of ways, that's where maybe some of his dissatisfaction would come through. But, I expect him to keep Carolina competitive. I don't think a Bill Belichick team will not be competitive, but the jury is still out on how he's going to look at the college game. Some of the things that he's used to, the practice styles that he's used to, are not going to fly in college. So I'm keeping a very sharp eye as to what he's going to do. But 20-plus years of experience up here tells me you don't bet against Bill Belichick that often. I'm not going to start now.
Probably pretty smart. This is a real treat, Mike. Thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate you.
Always a pleasure. Thanks so much for having me on, and thank all your listeners for all the support they give you. They got a great show, and always a pleasure to be a part of it.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate it. There you go. Mike Diabate joining us. New England Patriots at SI joining on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Get your officially endorsed in 3 things on a First Friday. Up next, Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
Ready? This Ohio State football training camp report is brought to you locally on the Fan by Weber Grills.
Ohio State football training camp report.
This report is brought to you statewide by Safe Flat Auto Glass and by Bob's Discount Furniture. As Ohio State gets closer to the season opener against Texas, there's a lot of curiosity about how the defense will look with new coordinator Matt Patricia. And he talks about the challenge they're going to face in week 1, especially from Longhorns quarterback Arch Manning.
Yeah, I'm worried about what his uncles are telling him right now. It's probably the biggest thing for me. I got a chance to actually see Arch last summer, and just, he's big, he's strong, he's really athletic. He's got a very live arm. He can push the ball downfield. So he's a really good player. This is a huge challenge for us, but it'll be good. It'll be fun in the shoe. I'm excited to have our fans out there yelling and screaming. See how he handles all the pressure of that too. But I'm sure his uncles and his dad, and his grandfather, they've pretty much groomed him as a quarterback, his entire life. So he's a great kid. He's a tremendous young man. But that'll be a big challenge for us.
We'll have more right after this.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, flexible financing to fit your budget, and fast, friendly delivery. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com. Oh, my Bob! Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
As Ohio State gets ready to start the season against Texas, new defensive coordinator Matt Patricia trying to sharpen the skills of all of those on the defensive side of the football, but he also offers his thoughts on how they've had to go up against newly named starting quarterback Julian Sayin in practice.
For me, it was really what I saw is just, decision-making when I'm showing different looks or we're having different coverages or we're rolling through practices without scripts, where things are going to be moving at a little bit of a different pace and being able to handle the tempo of the offense and things like that in the huddle, adjustments at the line of scrimmage. It kind of threw a bunch of different things at them. And I think his poise, his ability to kind of see the defense and then also really make quick decisions.
That is new defensive coordinator Matt Patricia. The Buckeyes open the season on the 30th against Texas. Another report coming tomorrow. This is Paul Keels on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
We've had an incredible year, Buckeyes fans. It's time to celebrate the offseason with warmer weather, long nights, and incredible grilled food. Weber Grills has everything you need to have a winning summer. From our newest line of Spirit gas grills to our award-winning Searwood wood pellet and slate griddle grill, Weber Grills is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn more at Weber.com.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
The roof of your home protects what matters most in your life. Your family, your memories, your peace of mind. So when it comes time to replace the roof over your head, you need a name you can trust. Newman Roofing. Don't just take our word for it. Here's our friend Cindy on why she chose Newman Roofing over all the rest.
We had interviewed and talked with several other roofing companies around the city. The salesperson that came to speak with us was extremely knowledgeable, answered questions, took his time with us. We were happy to make Newman our choice.
And you'll have peace of mind knowing that on the day of the installation, we'll give you and your home the respect it deserves.
The guys arrived right on time. The crew leader came and talked with us, let us know what they were going to be doing. He was here all day with the crew. That itself was very impressive.
If you're thinking about your roofing or siding, give Newman Roofing a call today.
We were very happy with our experience, and we would highly recommend Newman to anybody we talk to.
Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do we have on the poll today?
The Daily Fan Poll asks, what percentage of other drivers that you're on the road with on a regular basis would you consider to be bad at driving? 38% say 25 to 50% of other drivers on the road you would consider bad. 24% say 50 to 75%. 22% say less than a quarter of the drivers on the road are bad. And then 14% of you say more than 3/4 of the drivers on the road are bad. Think about that 14%.
I think most are good, but I think the few bad ones are really bad, and it makes everybody else kind of have the stink of them.
Who put that building there?
I think maybe we have some drivers that are good. They're just distracted. I think that's the biggest thing.
No,
right?
that means bad.
We have a lot of distraction.
I think that's true as well. All right. And we had another one, right?
Yeah, so earlier we had asked if you'd heard of Pepe Le Pew, and we've got about 315 votes at 971 BFS. 97% of respondents say they have heard of Pepe Le Pew,
Let's go.
who was in Space Jam.
He was, he stunk up the monsters, didn't he? Yeah. All right. Good job. Good job out of the listening audience. It's a First Friday. Hit it.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday. Officially endorsed because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
Sponsored by Hydrate Me Med Spa. Feel better, recover faster, live optimized with Hydrate Me.
Drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good. Because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar. Because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
Indeed it is, and since Farmageddon is taking place in Dublin, we are going to go that route for a couple of reasons. So we're going to do the Irish Car Bomb, which I have not had since college, which is a pint of Guinness and a shot of Jameson dropped into it. It actually tastes pretty good, as I remember. It's been about 25 years since I've had one. I don't recommend having more than one. I do recommend Guinness. Guinness is a delight, and I like it as a change-up from time to time. It's actually lighter. You think because it's dark, it's a heavy beer. It's not. It's actually pretty light, pretty good. So we're going to go that way. Bake, you've experienced?
It's going to be that kind of party, huh?
That's where we're going. We're going to go swing for the fences out of the gates. All right, time for 3 things. Hit it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
All right, number 1 for me, and this is, I'm asking, I don't know. My wife and I were hopeful that sleepovers would end in 8th grade because they're exhausting. The kids stay up forever. They're loud. They want to go ding-dong ditch, all these other things that I have to try to put constraints on. Now, all of a sudden, first week of school, I was hoping that it would be over. And now we're having a sleepover on Friday with NBC and his buddies, who are all 13. They're all kind of punks. And it's like, at what age does this stop? I'm asking, not a statement. So if someone could tell me, I'd be very grateful, because I'd like it to stop already.
First thing for me, with the news of Daniel Jones starting for the Colts, in their Week 1 matchup, I believe it against the Miami Dolphins. Dan Orlovsky says that right now, 3 teams should offer a mid-round pick for Anthony Richardson. Those teams are the Eagles, the Rams, and the Vikings. Today.
I don't think any of those are a fit for him.
Yeah.
In terms of what they are offensively.
And what team fits Anthony Richardson?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the Eagles backing up Hurts.
Yeah.
Run first team.
Is he durable enough to do the tush push?
I would think so. I don't know. First thing for me, and it was interesting that the poll was talking about driving. So I went a different way to work this morning instead of the freeway because yesterday it was kind of a mess with some lane closures. So it doesn't take much longer, if at all, to go the back roads. So I went the back roads. However, the one thing when you go the back roads, obviously there's people coming in and out of places. And I let someone out today from the gas station in front of me. And then I immediately regretted that because not a wave, not a nod of acknowledgement, not anything. And I feel like if you do that, whatever happens to you that could happen to you on your drive going the rest of the way, you deserve that. I don't know if it involves a cop. I don't know if it involves a pole, a tree. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I think you deserve that.
Number 2 for me, ESPN just ranked their top 100 players of the season in college football. The top 3 will be playing 10 days from now at high noon at the Shoe. Jeremiah Smith, number 1. Texas linebacker Anthony Hill Jr., number 2. Caleb Downs is number 3 on that list. There's actually 3 Clemson guys in the top 10, which goes to Bake and I being very high on the Tigers this year. Defensive end Colin Simmons of Texas is number 11 on the list. So, yes, lots of talent in 10 days.
Baker, a cop, a pole, and a tree sounds like a hell of a bachelor party.
It really does.
Second thing for me, so it looks like the home run derby is going to Netflix. Baseball is starting to divvy up some of its media. And Apple out. Rest in peace, Friday Night Baseball. NBC and Peacock are swooping in for Friday and Sunday exclusives and also some wild card games. And MLB TV is being sold to ESPN.
So ESPN's getting the home of all sport. That's what that tells you.
So we're just having huge media conglomerates now.
Yeah.
Just buy up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second thing for me, I went to my first football practice of the year last night. Headed over to Hilliard Derby to see them practice a little bit. And my good friend, Coach Brad Birchfield, looking for an improved season from them. Going to go to 2 more today. Going to visit Watterson and DeSales. Man, I'm so excited for this Friday.
Yeah, it's awesome. Finally, number 3 for me. 2 days in, Bootsy comes home from school last night. Well, I got a girlfriend. I go, geez, that was quick. Didn't want to wait. He goes, why wait? Fair enough. God bless you, buddy.
Final thing for me, real quick, from loyal listener Z, who's also a Dolphins fan. He chimes in that sleepovers never stop. My college son had 3 friends over last night for a sleepover.
Oh, for God's sake.
And he adds the kids are still here.
You can't rid yourself of them, Z.
We're 5 minutes until noon. God. Throw them out.
Guys, don't go anywhere. Rothman and Ice coming up next. It is a DeVere day for them, as DeVere is in for Anthony Rothman. They'll have Schefter at 12:30, Bobby Carpenter at 1:30.
There you go. Enjoy your first Friday. Act accordingly. We're back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
We're brought to you today by GNC. Hope I'm not interrupting your workout routine, but the GNC Live Well sale is going on right now. Buy one, get one, 50% off everything in the store and at GNC.com. That's right, everything. Protein, pre-workout, creatine, vitamins, supplements, and so much more. Go for it all and don't miss out. At GNC, nutrition isn't just the department, it's the whole freaking store. You got goals, GNC has results. Visit your local GNC store or go to GNC.com.
Your fantasy draft is here. The Smack Talk is starting, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone, and I've got a public service announcement for your taste buds. The legendary Sanders Bumpy Cake is finally here in Ohio. Yes, that Sanders Chocolate Fudge Bumpy Cake. Rich devil's food cake topped with smooth buttercream bumps and smothered in thick chocolatey fudge. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. It's the dessert you didn't know you needed until now. Perfect for your next barbecue, tailgate, or a family function. And if you've never had one of these, well, trust me, once you try it, you're going to be hooked. Grab your Sanders Bumpy Cake today at Kroger or Meijer and taste what the hype's all about.
Stories like this are really who we are. Hi, it's Steve Lindsay with Lindsay Honda. One of my son's coaches was having an issue with his transmission in his Honda. He had gotten quoted almost $9,000. He's like, can you help me out on the price and getting one through your Honda dealership? And I said, yeah. I said, but let's bring the vehicle in and let's make sure you, in fact, do need a transmission. We did a complete flush on his transmission and a software update on it, and that fixed his problem. And this guy has an extra $8,500 in his pocket because he reached out, and I was able to connect him with my staff. We're going to take a step back and to make sure we're actually treating the core issue, not just the symptom.
This month at Lindsay Honda, our famous Cash for Clunkers continues during our Honda Summer event. Get up to $3,500 minimum for your trade and use it for a down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash. Only at Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store.
From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in OHIO. But the greatest players and coaches of all time live in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter if you spend your Sundays yelling "Hoo Day" or barking like a dog from your seats in the pound. A trip to the Pro Football Hall of Fame should be on every fan's bucket list. Plan your trip at ProFootballHof.com. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion, relive the glory.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or 2 half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.